Hola. First of all, happy International Women's Day to anybody who gets to celebrate that. Salute y'all. A lot of us wouldn't be here without y'all, so muchas gracias. And yeah, I think today it's gonna be bombastic. It's gonna be atomic today with the amount of stuff we're gonna be talking, and I can only imagine the stuff that's gonna be dropping pretty soon. But dropping soon. Speaking of, yo, what's up, man? Um, I think that for a lot of us here, there you go. I think I hear you now.
Bottles and bricks.
There
Let's
you
go.
Folks, this podcast has been covering this franchise since season 1 of the show, and I think that it's kind of surreal that we're getting season 2 now, and who knows what they're going to be dropping now. Like, do you have any expectations right now, like going into it, or no?
The only thing that I regret is that I was not there myself. I can't even. No, as far as expectations, I think it's going to be a trailer. I think they're going to go into certain specific questions in regards to like how they're going to handle the storyline, because the game is non-linear. It's not linear at all. So I think they're going to have to address that in some capacity. They're going to have to lean in and say, are they already starting to shoot season 3? I think that those are the things that they're going to kind of get into. But I really want to hear from Kaitlyn more than anybody. I want to hear from her perspective when it comes to Abby. And I may have asked some questions in the Q&A. We'll see if they get answered. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I really don't have any, I don't know where to go from here. Let's see. We have some new comments.
I'm about to say it's already up too, by the way.
Yeah, so I'll start sharing this. Hey, Keyblade. Let's see. So I'll be sharing the screen.
Speaking of, where's everybody else at?
They're probably smoking something or whatnot. I don't know.
You know what? That sounds like a specific person.
I don't know. Time will only tell, I suppose.
Oh yeah, put that on
right
now.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Sound good?
Yeah, just in case it goes crazy on your end, I can. Can you maximize the screen?
Back up.
My name is Austin Nauert. I am the
just maximize it. It should be far right.
And before
right
this
there.
Panel, I
Perfect.
have a few important updates and reminders I want to let to make sure y'all know about.
But I've got it on another screen just in case.
Sessions,
so I'm good. Either way.
Coming up that we're kind of late breaking, and I want to make sure everyone in here is aware of.
The first could be trailer. I don't know. Though could just be a picture. Sure. Hey, Dream, what's up, man?
And video game designer.
Yeah, sounds good.
Kojima, speaking here in this room. Yes. Speaking right here in this room at this time slot at 4 p.m. on his highly anticipated new game, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. And he'll be joined by special guest, actor Norman Reedus, voice actor and the voice of
Troy!
Troy Baker.
Dog, I'm not going to lie to you, man. The fact that I'm not there.
So it's very exciting.
It's hurting.
I know, dude. Trust me. Imagine me, dude.
On Monday, have a fireside
it hurts so bad. And the crazy thing is, we have somebody at South by Southwest. Son, you're amazing. Great coverage. She couldn't get in. It actually closed off
on the small screen, and now
she was there 2.5 hours ahead of time.
Become very famous. He's been doing very well on the TikTok. So please make sure to go to Monday. Please make sure to go to that on Monday in Ballroom EF right here in the Convention Center too. And I also, before we get started, just want everyone to give a huge round of applause to our volunteers. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. We love them.
Damn! Shout out to the volunteers. Whew.
I may go in and out, by the way, Ron, just let you know, because I got both my kids.
To have them here and that I'm thrilled to
introduce
this panel would be an understatement. With the roots of this story starting in Austin, we feel there's no better place to introduce season 2 of The Last of Us than South by Southwest. Based on the acclaimed and groundbreaking video game series, the first season of the show captivated audiences and critics alike with its haunting portrayal of a post-apocalyptic America, its complex characters, and the deeply human connections that emerge in the most desperate of circumstances. Tonight, we're privileged to have with us the visionary creators and talented cast who brought this extraordinary world to life. They'll be sharing insights into the creative process, the challenges of adapting such an iconic property, and the experiences that shape their remarkable performances. Before we bring out the cast and creators, though, I'd like to introduce you to our fearless leader. Today's panel will be led by one of our very favorite moderators here at South by Southwest, Miss Joanna Robinson. You, of course, know her as a cultural.
Oh, Ronan, you're recording our
the ringer behind
our
shows
locals
like House
too,
of
right?
R,
Yeah.
Prestige TV,
Okay,
and Trial
good.
by Content. She also is the author behind the New York Times best-selling book "MCU: The Reign of
You
Marvel
guys
Superheroes."
excited?
To get things started, everyone,
Yeah.
please welcome to the
Comments
stage
and
the
the
wonderful
viewers right now, let us
Joanna
know how you're
Robinson.
feeling, because my hands are cold. Like, I am like wondering what the hell are they gonna show us, and let's just say I might fall down and cry. See that?
I feel like I may have heard her
Welcome to the Last
cover
of Us
something on the
panel.
last before.
Congratulations on getting in. I heard
Oh, yeah?
it was very hard. So
No,
I'm not
don't
going to
say
waste
that.
your time. You're not here to see me. You're here to see the
Go on.
cast and creators of The Last
She
of Us.
said,
So
I
let's
heard it was
find
really
out.
hard to get
Starting
in.
with
Yes,
young
it
Mazino,
was.
who does Jesse, who plays Jesse. Young
Young Mazino.
Hey!
Isabella Merced, who plays Dina.
Yeah.
Hey!
Gabriel Luna, who plays Tommy.
Tío Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Kaitlyn Deaver, who plays Abby.
Yeah. Oh man, bless her.
Pedro Pascal, who plays Joel.
Woo! Sorry if I blew out anybody's ears.
Bella Ramsey, who plays
Yeah.
Ellie.
Yeah. Heart and soul right there.
And the co-creators of it all, Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin.
Los
Yes,
maestros.
sir. Like that, they were the reasons why I wanted to get into the room. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They are the reason.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for making us follow Pedro and Bella. That was awesome.
I was told that earlier today you were talking to Elmo and Cookie Monster. So in terms of following tough acts to follow, that's a pretty tough one, right?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
We're gonna have a chat. We might have some other treats. Let's get started. I want to start with Craig and Neil. We are 5 weeks away from season 2.
Gulp.
What is it like to launch season 2 after all of the huge success of season 1, where you have people who have never even played the game are frothing at the mouth to see what you do next? Let's start with Craig.
Sure. Well, we try and take care of everybody. I'm a fan of the
If
game.
they answer
Obviously,
any of my
we know who created
questions, I'm gonna
and
freak
made the
out.
second game along with Hallie Gross.
I'm gonna send you my questions
We come
that
at it from both
I
sides,
put up.
and we try and think about the people who have played the game and make
they're
sure
not
that
easy
we
questions
keep them on
either.
their toes and a little bit
So,
surprised and a little bit thrown off balance
Joining us
from
as
there.
well
We also
for this
think about
coverage
people that
is another
know
fellow
this
Last of Us
now because of the
brother
show
of ours.
and
Hopefully he has his
Oh,
camera
no.
on.
Neil, no
But
pressure.
someone who is an avid lover of part
We
2,
took
and I think
7
he and I will have
years
some interesting
on and off
convos,
to make The Last of Us Part 2.
is
it
the one
means
and
a
only
lot to myself and
Jarrell
everybody back in
Alexander.
Nottingham.
What's up, brother?
And then it was
Yo,
years
what's
ago
going
when
on?
Craig was sitting at
What up, Drew?
office and I first
How you doing,
started playing
man?
the game, and we were fantasizing. One day we will get to
It's
this
another
season,
day.
and we'll get it in some season of this show.
Hey,
and
but
now
we
we're
here though.
here, and it's as an
COVID and
army of
all,
people
we
that made
here.
this thing, like props and backgrounds and acting and costumes.
COVID
And
and all.
it's kind of mind blowing. And it's done justice.
I
It's done
agree.
justice and then some to the thing. that we
Draymond,
created,
let's
so
fucking
I
go.
feel weirdly
Pedro,
emotional.
yes.
So we're going to talk a lot about season 2. Folks in here haven't seen season 2 yet.
But these are all
Is there
the
like
questions
a
I sent.
crumb you can throw them? Anything you can show them?
No.
No?
Well,
It's got spoilers,
do you want
but it is
one?
really good.
Oh, they're gonna show a
Do you,
clip.
that doesn't sound convincing to me.
No.
That's not even
Like,
a
what if
trailer.
there
They're
were
talking
a
about a
complete
clip.
trailer for you guys to see?
Wow, we're starting with a trailer already? Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
Get the fuck
wait,
out of here.
No.
Well, fuck it. Let's do it.
Fuck it, let's do
Oh
it.
my fucking god, we're doing it.
Hold
Holy
on.
shit, everybody hang on.
Oh,
you sons of
son of a
bitches.
gun.
You
Hold on. I'm gonna help you out, Rona. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Wait, they're not showing it?
Yeah,
We just have to go to the link?
It's not. Yeah, it's not how
I think
it
it's
works
on the Max
the
channel, that's
live
why.
stream. Yeah,
So,
give me-
someone bring up the link.
I'm bringing it up. Slow down. All right, Max. I'm
This
pulling
is
it
kind
up
of
now.
funny.
This is actually hilarious. Oh god. All right, here we go. I'm on the Max
Jesus
page. Let's see if it's actually there.
Oh, yeah, Kayla, yeah.
Do you see it there? Anybody? I don't see it yet. This is crazy.
No.
I'm not seeing it yet. Trying to get to it.
Let me take a look.
Today in the past hour, upload. Here it is. I got it, guys. All right.
Let's do it.
Here
Oh
we go.
my God.
I'm gonna share it to you now. Give me 1 second. Here you go. I shared it to you.
All right.
Y'all ready? Let's
Yeah,
freaking
let
do
me
this.
see if I can add it to the screen. Hold on.
You ready? All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, this looks crispy, bruh. Oh, man.
Okay.
No,
my kids
no,
okay.
no, they're not doing this.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Oh, what the fuck? No.
This is where we live. And what's that?
The fence.
What's inside?
People.
Oh!
What's outside?
Oh! Yo!
Monsters.
Oh my God, we're gonna get this thing.
Time the sun comes up tomorrow.
No! Not the astronaut! What the fuck?
You're gonna lose.
Oh! Yeah, I'm drooling. Oh my God.
Don't you know what he did?
Ow! No! 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 Oh!
You swore.
Get the fuck out of here!
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
crap.
All right.
Crap.
All right. So
Oh.
we
going
finally
back or we going back? What are we doing?
we finally have something to talk about.
Are we going
Hold on,
back
okay,
through
hold
going back to live stream or what are we doing?
First off,
Yeah, all right, live stream. All right, cool.
5 years
I need
later,
a
they,
minute. Give me a second. I'll be right
are
back.
in a
my nigga says it needs a minute.
place. And I think that this is a very relatable fissure in relationships between parent and child, or between anyone you love. And I don't know, it's fucking heartbreaking. You guys are sick people.
Yo, that was a nice trailer.
I'm sitting here watching the trailer and it's like, oh great, let's burst into tears in front of 1,000 people.
I think it's 1,700 people in here. But they love the tears. Craig and Neil, I want to ask you something I loved when you talked about season 1. You would talk about sort of the seedy underbelly of love, the destruction nature of love. And you've got some big ideas in this trailer, this idea of who's inside people, who's outside monsters. Every path has a price. What are some of the capital B, capital I, big ideas of season 2 that you want to talk about? Neil?
Yeah, some of the stuff you're seeing is
Ronan, are you
first season,
alive?
we're following Joel now, and the humanity is really them
Ronan.
against these other communities, whether it's David's
Are
group
you
or
okay?
Kansas City. And now we get to see they've settled in Jackson. That's become their home, and there's like a love there for a community. And we
It
really
does not
start
sound
getting
like you're
into
okay.
tribalism. You know, you get to see
I'm actually I gotta run it back in the
Like, what
background. I
happens
apologize.
when-
If they say something seismic,
get to
you
a
let me
point where
know.
you don't see the humanity in them, and how far will that take you, especially when they hurt someone you love.
Craig, anything to add?
No, I mean that pretty much sums it up. And we always investigate the cost of love. love is the emotion that
Alright.
leads us to our most extreme.
They are
behaviors.
not holding any
Extreme
gosh darn
good, extreme
punches.
bad.
Ronan,
Where this season does
they're not gonna hold any
escalate
punches
things,
at all.
like Neil said, is
I was like, give me
creating a sense
5
of a
years
larger
at
love,
least.
a larger
Give me a
group, and then
buffer,
even
freak.
within that group,
When
are
I
you
saw
part of that group,
freaking
or are these two
spaceship,
people the group? What
I
happens
almost
if
lost
somebody in your tight group is taken
how
from
many
you and you
episodes
feel
that? 9
alone?
or the
And
10?
there's one thing that
They
Ellie
said
said
7.
in season 1, the thing that she's most
Ain't no
afraid of is
motherfucking
ending
way,
up
bro.
alone. And so all
Ain't
these
no
characters have to
freaking way,
face
bro.
that potential threat of being alone and without a tribe. And at that point, what do you do?
On the theme of tribalism and family, Gabriel, we see briefly your son in this trailer. Tommy's son. Tommy's a dad.
Madness.
And that's a change from the game.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about sort
That's
of
a
what
very
that
big
does for his
change.
character, where we find him?
Well, before I answer your question, I'd like to address my hometown.
Hey,
What's up? What's up, Austin, Texas? But yes, he is Uncle Tommy is Papa Tommy, and
Yeah.
Papa Joel is Uncle Joel, and he is.
how are they gonna have
He
time?
further raises. I mean, now
I'm
you
so
know, I mean, if it
lost
wasn't already
right now.
a
Dude, I
lot
have a
to
headache.
lose,
Because
you know, now you're dealing
What
with.
you just said.
if they
where
did
you're
this
not,
linear, it would
have
make
I- can I
sense.
say his
But
name?
they're not.
It's not.
They're going in and out.
Benjamin, our son Benjamin, and really beautiful scenes.
Okay, did I miss anything?
Yes.
The settlement, but I think
Tommy's
it's,
got a son in this,
you know,
as opposed to how
when-
it was in the game.
your
Like he has a
constitution, I
son.
believe, when you have a child, just becomes.
And he's talking
much
about
more
what that actually means
solidified,
from a
and-
story
and-
standpoint.
and it crystallizes what.
Yeah, I'm
you're
sorry, I
about
had to
and
run it
about
back.
and who's
Jesus
important,
Christ.
and it's just it fills him with purpose and fills
Hey,
him with the
Keyblade,
strength
they
he
did.
needs
He
to
died for a
help his
second,
wife,
came back to life.
and his brother and his
Hey,
surrogates and
bro.
everything. Keep
Is it Ronan all right? Jesus Christ.
No, he's not.
No, that
He's not okay.
Papa Tommy.
I can't believe you guys are still watching the live stream. I had to watch it off stream.
All right, so we
to make
see
sure I saw
in
what
this
I
trailer
saw.
we see both Joel and Ellie and a guitar. We've seen it in a previous trailer as well.
Fuck you for talking about the guitar.
And we
I
know
need a
that in
minute. I need
season
a
1,
minute.
Joel was
I
like,
need a
"Hey,
minute."
maybe I'll teach you how to play the guitar." So Bella, I was wondering if you could talk to us
Dang,
about
Ronan.
how music informs the connection between Ellie and Joel, and maybe how you
Ronan
prepared
leave?
for your Prestige
Yo, he
Prestige
pulled a
TV
me, season
musical
7,
stardom
episode 1 of The
debut.
Walking Dead. He
Yeah,
walked away.
I mean, we bonded over music.
Walked away.
Season 1,
Oh no, I don't think he's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
and I think
I don't-
Hey,
Ellie and
hey,
I don't
you
know
guys-
why they
kind of
started.
the same, like,
I really wanted to watch the live
you
stream,
said
so I don't know why they
guitar-
started with the
Joel said you
trailer.
gave Ellie guitar lessons.
I
for the
can't-
last
I can't pay
few
attention to what they're
years.
saying.
No, you didn't. I gave you guitar
Yes.
lessons.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to
And-
end up rewatching this whole live stream
Sure,
again.
they really-
Right? Like, I feel like we should be talking about the trailer right
yeah,
now.
I
Like, I
think
can't.
music-
No,
You
it's
actually got pretty
fine.
good.
It's fine.
I was quite impressed.
Ain't nothing they saying better than what we just saw.
Music, I think. I mean, it's like bonding for anybody, right?
Poor Ronan.
Like it's just something that happens. But in the world of the show,
Ronan is not okay.
it really feels like.
And I understand. I understand why he's not okay.
Music feels so integral to The Last of Us. To me, like the soundtrack, like
oh,
this,
no.
the
That was
score,
intense. There's one
it feels
scene.
so
Hold on.
specific to The Last of
I
Us.
need to
and,
see something. There's one
I'll
scene.
now like listen to a song and be like, oh, it feels like it should be in the show. So yeah, I mean.
Are you
guitar
not
and music that really,
entertained,
like,
everyone?
thread through this season.
You
More
wanted
than it was in the
entertainment?
first,
You got
and
it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't wait.
Shout
looking
out to
forward
Draven,
see,
Derpy,
there's like
Keyblade
I don't know
Master
how
Jeffrey.
much
Thank
more
you
to
guys
say,
for
but
being here.
It's pretty
We
cool. The
appreciate
guitar
you guys.
gets a little bit of stardom for sure.
Well, even throughout the crew, there's a lot of music going on. We had a jam session one day on Sunday, and you did a great version of "Linger."
Yeah, they killed
which
him.
Is beautiful.
Cranberries,
Sang
yeah.
it beautiful.
And somebody took a video of it and wants to share it with all. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank goodness. I was about to leave.
Talladega
But yeah,
plays.
music.
I
mean,
agree.
on set,
What a
like Isabella
freaking
and Young
trailer.
would often
Good
like.
lord.
There's a lot of music on set, like on screen, off screen. It was.
I'll
yeah,
be right back again,
pretty cool.
guys. I'm watching you kids.
Pedro, in a previous trailer, we got to see.
Dude, I'm
you
just
act
watching the
opposite
trailer.
great
Like,
Catherine
I
O'Hara,
stopped listening to
who
what they were saying
plays-
immediately.
Yeah.
No offense to
Who
them.
plays? who plays Joel's therapist, which is not there is no therapy section in the game as far as I know. The whole game is a therapy session, I guess. What can you tell us about Joel in therapy?
It's a big load. His therapist deserves high pay.
I think Ronan is fully compromised. My God.
Girl, please say
Gave
something.
it away.
I need him like 50 seconds.
Show's ruined.
But that's basically it. I just get her high and tell her my problems.
What was it like working with Kaitlyn?
Sorry?
What was it like working with Kaitlyn?
There's some intense shots in
Kaitlyn,
this
for me. And I know that I go around kissing a lot of butts, but because I'm such a little fangirl. But the thing about Kaitlyn O'Hara is that I've seen her in absolutely everything. And
Jesus Christ! I didn't even know old chick who plays Abby's there.
It was like working with Obama.
That's what we were going for. Makes total sense.
And on top of that, she is known so well for comedy, and I get to do a dramatic scene.
Shout out to
with
Pedro,
her,
bro.
it
He
is
out there
a
making
bucket
dreams
list of
on-
which
come alive.
I am indebted to
This
Neil
man, Mr.
Craig for the rest of my life,
Fantastic.
which
He
is
was
an
just in the
unfortunate
Gladiator
thing.
movie, and he still Joel.
And because of giving me that
He's been out here for a minute.
You're a hard-working dude, bro. I give him
That's
all the
very
credit.
sweet. I will add that the scene, there is like a key scene between Joel and Gail that you'll see in episode 1. So I'll give there's a spoiler and get that away. And I directed that episode, but that scene, I kind of just sat there and watched these two just do this incredible work. It was just, I was like driving a
So
Ferrari.
they confirmed
and the
she's a
two of them were
therapist?
just incredible.
Did they confirm that?
So hang on, because it's quite a thing.
New
And
character.
both I thought you both just did.
And they're gonna do the
incredible work.
confession. I think that's what's gonna happen with
In a
that.
way, I guess I'm also indebted to you. I don't like that hand gesture.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm really worried.
Well, it sounds like you're all square. I mean,
Okay, so we have Kaitlyn O'Hara as Gail. It's a new character for the show. We've got, in the trailer, we got to see Jeffrey Wright playing Isaac, the role he voiced in the game.
With an expansion from what I'm looking at.
In the trailer, we also got to see what we at The Ringer call the patron saint of The Ringer, Joey Pants. Joe Pantoliano is in the trailer as Eugene, who's a character we hear about in the game but do not see. So I was just wondering if you could talk about anything you want to say about those characters.
Yeah,
and maybe
you didn't
this
know?
idea of
Yeah.
being very faithful to the game, Craig and Neil, and also expanding out in new directions. Maybe starting with you, Neil.
Yeah, the therapist idea was something Craig had in season 1, and it just didn't make it for a bunch of different reasons. And I loved it because it's a way for me and us to learn more about who Joel is through these interactions we have with this new character. Isaac, I mean, Jeffrey Wright is so awesome. Like, and the fact that he was willing to come back and play this role again, it's just like, oh,
I don't care what
we
I
got
gotta
a
do.
glimpse of him in the game.
We're gonna talk to one of
and
them
now we get
two
to see a lot more of
before the end of
how
this
did he
year.
become Isaac. Like what? And I'm saying too much.
I don't care what I gotta do.
So
It's gonna
and
happen.
all these like just like beautiful opportunities. For, like, even for
I'm
myself
saying that
and
on live
also
right
about
now.
The world and the characters to find
Make it happen, my
new
man.
angles, new relationships.
Oh yeah, I gotta
and
talk
have
to
a
you
better
about something
understanding
you
of
need to be
who these
working
people
on,
are.
by the way.
Yeah, we try as much as we can to reward people.
Oh,
who play
which
the game
one of us?
If we have an idea
Bro,
for a character
yeah.
to
Oh.
fill a space narratively and
That's something I need
thematically.
to cover.
If there is somebody we can connect back
Okay.
to that was there, we do. Why shouldn't we? I mean, I like staying inside of that world as much as I can. We obviously create new characters like Gail, but if there's
Oh, this man
space
busy gonna
that
be
somebody like
pissed.
Eugene can occupy, and that's a guy that you
Wait, why?
learn
Where's
about
busy at?
discussions between
He's
Ellie
out
and
with his mom.
Dina and reading some things.
He hadn't got back
Why
yet.
not? And if you can
Dang.
get Joey Pants, yeah, you're done.
He missed a big one.
Any other Eugene crumbs you can feed us in this
No.
moment? Nope. Okay. Well, had to try. All right. Kaitlyn, Izzy, Young. Hello.
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 Yes. Oh, did you ask me something yet?
Not yet,
Oh, okay.
but get ready.
I missed it.
The returning actors on the stage have talked about sort of their decision whether or not to play the game. All three of your characters, Dina, Jesse, Abby, are playable in the no return mode of the game. So I was wondering if you could talk about whether or not
so fun
you
to play
decide you
them,
want to play
too.
the game, play as yourself, play as someone else. How did you think about this? Kaitlyn Deaver, starting with you.
So I have to say my dad is a huge fan of both games. He's probably played them each 4 times through. I did play with my dad. I played as Abby. And it's a lot of fun. We had a good time. It was a good bonding moment between me and my dad.
It's a huge advantage.
Oh, she gonna wreck house.
Dude, Joe and Ellie just stared at each other.
She's gonna wreck house.
I mean, Joe and Abby. Jesus Christ, I said Joe and Ellie.
Classic Abby and Ellie. Yep.
Fuck.
No temptation to play Dina?
No, she kept getting in the way of where I needed to go. I was like, girl, move. But she's cool. She's
Young?
I watched the cinematic cuts of the first game.
On the
years
YouTube,
ago,
probably.
and then I played the second game up until a certain point, and then I stopped playing.
Dang.
Say no more. Say no more. Say no more.
Very specific.
Yeah, that's Jarrell right there.
Don't spoil stuff in the comments. Because that shit is funny as fuck.
Kaitlyn Deaver. Abby looms very large in the Last of Us lore. What can you tell about as someone who's played the game?
That's one way of
what
putting
did it
it.
mean for you to bring her to the screen? What did you want to do?
Craig
with
is
Abby?
like,
Yeah,
say nothing crazy.
some big shoes to fill, for sure, or boots, I should say. She wears big boots. Is that a spoiler? I feel I'm so scared.
You're doing great.
No, it really was. I mean, it's such an honor. It truly is such an honor to be a newbie here in this world and join this crew. It really means the world to me and really means a lot to my dad. But I think I just wanted to really focus on who Abby is at her core and her emotional journey and that arc and sort of establishing that in season 2 and sort of getting to her grief and what drives her and how broken she is and
she's
that
doing a
was
good
sort of
job though.
the main goal for me in tackling that and collaborating with Craig and Neil on that and creating her. I mean, but it's the coolest thing ever to be a part of this group.
Shout out to
Really
Laura
is.
Bailey, who
Can you guys say why Kaitlyn was the person you wanted to pick for this role?
Oh man, don't ask that.
and she's Naughty Dog
Kaitlyn was sort of like
loyal.
within the Last of Us DNA anyway, because when she was younger and Neil and Naughty Dog were contemplating making a movie, I think they were talking to her about
making her Ellie. That's right.
By the
Mhm.
time
Me and
that
Drew had that
rolled
conversation.
around, she was no longer convincingly 14. I think it was fair to say. But our method is really to sit with people and talk to them, and you just feel. I mean, we don't have to question whether or not she's an amazing actor. We've seen her in everything. She's incredible.
Right.
So then you really just want to feel like, do you want to do this?
Does she feel comfortable doing that?
Making the show is hard.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
long. It is grueling. We do warn everybody that it is really hard. So you got to want it. And she wanted to do it.
And
I think
especially
at
that role.
point, we knew everything we needed to know. But then you get there and you see how great she is occupying that space. And it exceeds your expectations, no matter how high they were.
What's the movie she's in Hulu?
All right, Izzy. We saw a smooch in the trailer. Well, Ellie and Dina's smooch. What can you tell us about their connection, their relationship? What can you share about that?
Oh,
They're
man.
just friends, you guys.
That's such a Dina's thing to say.
Man. Like,
Fuck you, Aaron, Jesse.
And you'll have to see the show, but I will say Bella and I didn't get much time together before we started shooting, so it was really the luck of the draw. And you guys are really trusting yourselves, and that's also a big reason as to why I admire you both, is that you just trust yourselves, and it allowed me space to also trust myself. I remember there's a group chat though where it's like, it's like, don't mess this up, and I was like, okay, great, I'll try. And he was like, yeah, please try. And I was like, okay,
don't mess it up.
What was it like working with Bella?
Aw, Bella. Bella knows how I feel about Bella. Bella is very special to me, and it was not hard to act like I'm falling in love with her. Bella is just an amazing person, a dedicated actor, severely professional, and also just a fun time. It's just so many dark days on such a dark
Bella's
shoot.
been like doing this with her chest the
all
whole
I
time.
have-
Yeah.
She's just trying to hold it in.
I thank you. You're very precious to me.
That's
Aw.
well cute.
Shout out to Shannon Woodward, OG
I
Dina.
want to shower compliments back at you.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, Izzy, like I think it's such a hard thing to do to like come into a world and a show that's already established for like Kaitlyn, Isabella, and Young, and the rest of the new people this season. And so I just think that like that must be so intimidating. And these guys just like really came in and like made it their own, and like it just fit in so well. And
Dude, I'm
yeah,
actually
Izzy,
terrified how
it was so fun on set. Izzy really
is
brought
gonna
a lot
start.
of like
The first episode.
joy and laughter, made everybody
So,
laugh.
I'm actually
just letting y'all know,
terrified how this is gonna start.
we're gonna watch the trailer again after this because I want to give
and
these
yeah,
actors and
it's
actresses
just
their
a joy to
time.
work with all these guys. But yeah, me
they've
and
earned
Izzy had
it.
a lot together, and we really
I'm
got
not gonna
each other
lie.
through it. I think we had a really
I'm
good
kind of scared to watch it again.
Pedro, do you want to lavish the new cast members with praise?
Like I am
now?
shitting
Talk to
bricks
us
right now.
about
No pun intended.
Kaitlyn, Izzy, and Young. What it was
I've
like
already
to work with
watched
them?
the trailer like 2 or 3 more times.
I love you so much.
Look, I ain't gonna lie.
I would
Caitlyn said
lavish
that?
in my mind, so I'll share. I was thinking that yes, they came in like badasses, but you make it so easy and so welcoming, and it's such a welcoming environment, as do our creators. I think we all really looked.
I'm gonna say
to
something
Bella
real
this time around.
hurtful, but I apologize.
And,
I get off my chest.
As
Oh,
far
boy.
as the cast is concerned, and this kind of open permission to be ourselves and to partner together in the scenes, and I think that it is this sort of unspoken leadership that made it such a easy, horrifying place to step into, you know, in the story.
Sorry,
not
Ronan.
Canada.
What about Papa Tommy? What was it like to welcome the new cast, new people? Do you have any tips like how to deal with, I don't know, snow or a giant fungal zombie on top of you, something like that?
Well, Pedro and Bella endured most of the
Sorry, Ronan.
kind of elements.
Sorry.
I
had to get it out. I can't talk like we're in the middle of the live stream.
I
had to get it out.
With the new group, it was.
Yeah, I'm doing my
it was
damn it not to
really
say
easy.
shit.
I mean, I'm such an admirer of Kaitlyn's work and Izzy and Young and I mean Danny, Ariella, and everybody, and Tati, and they had this really Spence. They all had a really great. They were like the fun band.
I'm so happy
All
for
the
him.
kids just in the van and singing and playing and
Yeah, especially because he had like a whole Terminator franchise he was working off of, and then all of a sudden that joint get nixed. He was the best thing in that.
And he's there promoting a movie as well
Young
with
is
Kate Mara.
Incredible, like jazz.
This astronaut movie, I think it's called.
guitarist.
Yeah, the astronaut
He
launch
was my
Pittsburgh,
running
yeah.
buddy in Vancouver, and we just kind of, I won't. Okay, I'll stop all the stories right there. But they energetically, what they brought to it was this really incredible infusion of youth, but they're all really wise above their years, and we were thankful to have them all. Yeah.
I wonder if she'd be bold enough.
Oh, even the Texan in
What
there.
I'm
Like,
hearing is musical episode in season 2, part 2. That
Tempt me, Frodo.
would love that. Love a musical. I just want to say that about all the new, we'll call them the new folks. They're not new to me because we've lived all this time together, and it was seamless. And I feel
it's surreal, man. It's surreal.
Extraordinarily. Well, I feel rather protective of you guys, and I love you guys. And you gave us everything, and
I'm glad to hear that.
We're very lucky.
Especially with this material, and especially with that
line of
talent.
people, and then there are these other new actors in the cast. And
Not a weak link in the chain.
And to look forward to doing it again, if we don't get canceled, would be. I mean, to come back and work with all these folks, it was.
Dang, they wouldn't do that, would they?
What? Cancel the show?
Yeah, if you don't get canceled, musical episode. That's what I heard. Okay.
The Walking Dead almost got canceled the first episode of the 7th
We see
season.
a
But I'm leaving that alone.
ton of action in this trailer, a ton of action in the previous trailer.
I mean, it's
There was some
possible,
discussion around
but
season
highly
one of sort of
unlikely.
balance between
I
the
don't know, in this day and
drama and the
age.
action, especially I think coming from people who are used to a very
Highly
action-packed
doubt it.
game. So, what can you say about
I don't
this
know,
season and
Sam.
sort of how you wanted to approach the balance of action and drama? Maybe Neil, starting with you.
Yeah, well, for us, everything is drama. Even the action sequences are drama. Like they all have to be character driven. There has to be some kind of change. Season 1, we were very kind of picking and choosing our moments because we weren't sure exactly what we were doing.
So, Drell, so we can give people non-spoilery thoughts now.
How much should be VFX.
How do you feel about
now
the trailer?
we know what we're doing.
Because you've seen it multiple times already.
And we swung for the fences with some of the stuff. There's some of the stuff you see.
Well, I'm still processing it because I haven't really had time to really think because we're watching this live stream for some reason.
Now we get to show it, and the reason we do it is we show you what's at stake, not for individuals.
It would have been a lot easier to like hash out my thoughts about the trailer immediately and then watch the live stream. So I'm still working on that.
I often say it's crazier. It's a wild roller coaster ride. I mean, I love them both, but
it certainly is not a bad trailer. I can say that confidently.
We also like action. You want it to kind of come and go, so that it feels special.
I think the trailer's
And that
pretty
goes
great,
across seasons,
to be
not
honest
just
with
about
you.
episodes or one season. And
There's nothing really
that the nature of the story and
substantially wrong with it.
focus in
Not
very
from what I remember,
tightly
no.
on Joel.
I certainly have some concerns, but for the most part, it's a great trailer.
Forward, just the
Yeah.
two of them.
I can say that pretty confidently.
This story is broader. It has many more characters, many more lenses to look through, and the world.
There's no way an
world
upcoming season is being canceled after that trailer. I can tell you that. 100%.
We have dug in. And,
All right.
And I honestly, I think if we don't get canceled,
that's the second time he said that.
There's no reason why he's saying that though. Again,
I would love to hear the reason because I can't think of one.
Well,
2 musical episodes.
Terrell.
Young. Loved you in Beef. Think you're the best.
I love Beef.
Like unless the viewership is somehow lower than like
Jesse with a
the lowest
massive
viewed
gun in this
episode of
trailer,
Arrow or
and
something, I think they
we've
should be
seen
fine.
you engaging with a lot of action in the footage that we've seen so far. What can you tell us about Jesse, like his temperament and the action and gun and everything, and how his temperament is suited for sort of the boiling point that we find these characters in this season?
The Walking Dead went on for like literal
They
multiple
almost
seasons after that, but
they wanted to stop
okay.
the season, and then from
but I think in this season,
from a tone standpoint, it had to change literally
that
because
got
so many
tested
complaints.
to some extreme.
We'll talk
But
about
it wasn't canceled though.
Also,
It wasn't canceled though. Cancellation and what you're talking about are separate.
The presence of love,
They readjusted
the absence of it, or the risk of losing something that you love. But yeah, he's well. I was informed by the writing that he is this kind of stalwart, this guy who recognizes how valuable community is, and that's something he stands by. I think because he joined Jackson with nothing, and having lost everything prior. So I think finding that community,
I
there's a
really
remain
can't
sense of
pay attention
something
to this
that cannot
live
be
stream, but
lost,
I'm
and
trying
do
though.
whatever he can to protect it, keep it, and the people that he cares about.
I love that. We see, if I'm counting correctly, stalkers and clickers and bloaters. Oh my! In this trailer.
Also, this Kaitlyn chick, she's so tiny. This will be an intriguing
Okay, are they
Abby.
stalkers?
Stalker.
A stalker. Okay.
For now.
Like,
For now.
she's a very
Maybe.
small
All right.
person.
I want to talk to you guys about sort of the escalation, if that's what you want to call it, of the infected in the season. But while they're talking, I want you guys to think about who you would rather meet in a dark alley.
Are we gonna
a
see
stalker,
the Shamblers
a clicker,
this
or
season?
a bloater, or Craig or Neil?
Yeah.
You can add that into the mix. Craig or Neil, a stalker, a clicker, or a bloater.
When we
Craig
go
and
over the
Neil,
trailer,
let's
we'll
talk
talk about it.
infected
They're
in
absolutely
season
gonna
2. Any escalation we can expect? How are you thinking about the infected?
Escalation, always. Thematically, a lot of what's going on in the season is evolution and change. Ellie is growing up and she is changing. This town of Jackson is growing up. It is expanding. It's taking in refugees. It is changing. And while their world is changing, outside is changing a little too. So it was important to us to always move the ball forward with the infected. It's not a question of just more, but something else, something that is meaningful to what is going on, so that they don't just become NPCs. So definitely an escalation. We're careful about it.
Oh, I want to see that process.
Space yet to go for the 2 musical episodes. So we want to make sure that we keeping some powder dry. But yes, there is an escalation, no question.
Neil?
Yeah, there's
bro,
an
that
escalation of
shot.
numbers and types
Yeah.
of infected. But also, as you see in the trailer, an escalation of the vector of how this thing spreads. Season 1, we had this new thing that wasn't in the game of like these tendrils that spread, and that was one form. And then this one shot you see in this trailer, there are things in the air.
Boom! Yeah! Spores. Yeah! I don't know why I'm so happy for spores.
We're back. Spores are back.
Yeah!
Scattered spores fans get it.
And the reason we really wanted to figure it out, and again, everything has to be drama. There had to be a dramatic reason of introducing it now, and there is.
Oh, I know when.
Bella.
I already know
Clicker, stalker, bloater, Craig, or Neil?
What?
I think clicker because. Why was that funny? I think clicker because I can be quite quiet and scare people.
One more thing. I put it
People
in the
often are
private
like,
chat.
whoa, where did you come
One
from?
more
With me
thing.
anyway?
And they're gonna have to
So
have it
I
this
feel
time.
like I'd
Bro.
be fine. I just creep by the clicker and he wouldn't even
Picks up a
bullshit
goddamn
them,
brick and
or
just.
it wouldn't even
Well,
notice
action
there.
to teasing? It's
And
like,
so that's probably what I do.
I don't know how they're gonna justify
Pedro?
those bricks and bottles, but
In the dark alley?
Yeah.
Craig.
nice.
We meet there all the time.
I am the softest.
Kaitlyn?
I guess a bloater because that sounds exciting and scary. I like a challenge. Okay.
Motor in the game. Did she knock one
Gabriel,
out?
yeah.
Well, as you saw in the trailer, I met a bloater in an alley. And when I was playing the game, the first game, I hoarded propane tanks like I was Hank Hill. And propane was the most precious resource known to mankind. And so I didn't really get to use the flamethrower as much as I probably should have in the game.
Yeah,
So now I got to do it in real life. Which
yeah.
is incredible.
That was an awesome
Yeah.
shot.
It was a dope shot.
Izzy?
I definitely think clicker because it's just the easiest approach is throwing a bottle, getting it distracted, coming up from behind.
You got a little bottle reference.
Young.
Oh, we're
You know, to
nerds. I'm a nerd.
stalker, just because it's a narrow,
What'd
it's
he
a
say?
narrow alley.
Did
It's
he
not
say
much
stalker?
stalking the stalker can do. I'm pretty sure I can handle a stalker in like physical combat. So
So strategic. Awesome.
I love that.
That's why he's Jackson's golden boy, man.
Try to stalk me now. Watching the trailer, rewatching some season 1, I was transported back to watching the first time when I would get like full body shudder scares from seeing the tendrils and all the fungus stuff is tremendous and terrifying. What can the cast tell me about what's the difference between watching it versus engaging with someone who's sort of like in mushroom prosthetics? Maybe starting with someone like Kaitlyn, maybe starting with you. Yeah, watching it versus really doing it.
It's honestly, I mean, it's both are scary, both feel different. I think it definitely, I don't even know what I can say, but I'm gonna say that it's definitely terrifying. Working with actors in the prosthetics and it's the stakes feel very high, but yeah, watching
She's gonna do a
it
good job.
back is probably even more intense, and I'm watching it going, I can't believe.
Yeah, I'm very very confused how she's supposed to be playing Abby, but all right, I've never seen her
For
in
Bella and
anything.
Pedro, like
So.
it's season 2. Do they scare you anymore in their prosthetics, or are you like yawn another mushroom zombie?
Like
they're now semi-confirmed stalkers. Yeah.
She just seems like a very sweet, small person.
A little scary. Actually, scarier.
I think that's what they're trying to play
watching
with.
than being. I don't know if that wasn't really a question.
Yeah.
I think season 2. I mean, I'm so desensitized to it all that like it doesn't really freak me out, but watching it does. The way that you guys edit and like the freaking music and the tension, like it's to me it's scarier watching it than watching the first episode. My heart was pounding, probably like more than it was. Actually, it was probably pounding on the day as well, pretty much consistently pounding. But it was scary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pedro.
The infected are actually quite endearing. It's like actors that can't see, and like really friendly stunt people that will do anything, and they make it all so easy. Not to break the illusion or anything like that, but on the day, they really are the easiest people to work with.
I mean, they're Canadian,
and they're all usually
like
Canadian,
if they bump into you, they're like,
Exactly.
sorry.
What's the nice people?
Which is awesome to hear from a clicker.
Well, it's such a weird feeling to walk on set and you see a bunch of clickers sitting in a tent, like drinking coffee, eating a donut, and they're like, hey, Neil, and they just, I'm like, okay, hey, what's up?
They'll be in rehearsal sometimes, just like half in costume, and I'll walk out of the green room and it'll look like the Thriller music video because they're doing their practice, they're practicing their moves. It's not scary. It just look like they're dancing.
What about when you watch it back? Did you watch season 1 before? And then was it terrifying to you, or you were just sort of like zombies? No problem.
Oh yeah, it was very terrifying to me. And then I played the second game after, and I had the similar like sweat in my hands, but I noticed it more because I couldn't hold the controller. It kept slipping. It was really it's a special kind of thrill, I guess. Yeah.
Young, how about you?
I think the cordyceps are terrifying when the tendrils kind of poke out of their mouths.
Yes.
And then when you see them outside the green room just sitting in the table, and they're tired, so they're all just like, that's kind of sometimes more terrifying.
Jarrell, would you would have
when they're
flown to Canada to be a clicker for a day on this show?
I was walking down the street in Jackson, and there were a bunch of them
Would you have?
strewn about the floor, and they were some of them were dummies, and some were, people.
That's a
and it was just
solid
like this big
question.
infected cuddle puddle.
Come on.
I mean, I guess if it was reasonably plausible, then sure. I think.
Can I ask you an odd question that I not prepped
Random
before
day,
about
like, Jarrell,
that
get your ass to the
blur
airport.
shot?
Why?
There's also a
I'm gonna meet you
mailbox,
there. We're going to
etc. in the
Canada to be
background.
hostos.
Mailbox,
What?
etc. Don't
We're gonna be
exist
clickers.
anymore.
What?
And that just
Go
filled me with
on out.
joy
Okay,
and
fuck.
nostalgia.
Would you do it?
It's pretty
In
intense
terms
for
of
such a short,
putting a little bit
what
of
I would
nostalgia, a
imagine
little
would be
bit
a
of
short
like,
shoot.
this is
But
how it used to be. We used to live in a
I
society with
guess
a
so.
mailbox,
Probably.
Wait,
etc.
what? What y'all talking about?
What sort of balance do
I
you
was
want to
asking
strike
that
with
what
those
if we
little notes of
randomly got the
nostalgia?
chance to be clickers
You know, we had
in the
this
show?
Oh, hell yeah.
Randomly,
In
we
a
had
second.
we fly out to Canada. I told them, I'm like, I would meet you at your airport and we fly out to Canada.
Dude, I
for a
went
day.
away
I'm like,
for a day to go to an award ceremony
you know,
in Beverly
Daniels,
Hills for a
and,
day and
you know,
came back.
bullshit.
Yeah, I would never.
Yeah, like I said, if it was reasonably possible, sure, it'd be a lot of work.
Showed in a
Holy
way that is
fuck.
like
Just the
the
makeup
M for
alone would
McDonald's
be
murder somebody. Okay, you can't
intense.
do that. So we try as best we can to put those things in, and not in weird ones. I'm glad you love mailboxes because that's a weird one.
Okay,
I love
so
those. You know, it's
folks,
weirder
someone
than
knows that
FedEx.
it's gonna help me
So
get through the
where we
stream
can,
because
we just
I'm
try and remind people that
I'm still in
the world,
shock
even this
what the fuck
civilized
just
part of the
happened.
world that they're building up after the
But I know I
apocalypse is
wanted to
built
hear
on
her
the
thoughts.
ruins of 2003.
Because we have a limited time.
And
My
that
dear
actually
friend who I
comes
met
into
at
play
the Last
too
of Us
as we get into some
Gallery
relationships
Nucleus
in the show,
exhibit.
the way the world
Die.
works in
Hey, Die.
2003 is
What's
different.
up?
And if it stops there,
Hi,
Um,
guys.
this stuff.
Hey, how's it going?
Holy
going,
shit!
man?
What the fuck? How you doing?
Oh, Neil, anything you want to say about the way the
Holy
world
shit,
was
what
in
the fuck, right?
2003 versus
Sure.
2025?
The panel is totally distracting me.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Hey, Neil, there's my
I
buddy
guess the
Neil.
other thing that came to mind when you asked that question is
yeah.
Oh,
wow.
that story.
Because music
Yeah, I
plays
got a
such a
story
big
for that
part
one, right?
in the show
Yeah,
and how
like
we
I said, I was
relate to
out
some of
and
these
I was
characters.
waiting
There's a lot that we
to
show not only
get
for
this
what you're
trailer
listening
drop,
to or
and
playing
then
or
I got
singing, but
home and
even
literally, boom,
posters on the wall.
new trailer. I was like, oh
Actually, one
shit,
funny
here we
thing,
go.
because for an
And I
episode,
watched it on my
I
big
directed
screen,
that
and I
wrote,
was like,
we cast
dude.
Joey Pants.
Like some of the
later in the season.
stills once again are like straight out of the
Ellie has a
game.
Matrix poster on her wall.
It's so incredible
So we
what
had
they're
to, like,
doing
kinda
already,
shoot
and
around it to not show Joey
I don't
Pants and the
know,
Matrix
and
poster
especially
when
with
you're
all the
shooting
news
it
that they
there.
revealed in the last
Those
2
are the
days
weird
about
crazy
like the
sometimes
people that are joining the cast and what characters
Who
they're
would play
playing.
that part in the
and
Matrix?
how
if
now we're
Joey
gonna get
Pants
this
were not
expanded.
available?
Joey Pants, Joey Eugene.
The characters that we're familiar with. It's
Pedro,
been a
you wanna be in
while,
the
man.
Matrix?
Watching the
I
Matrix.
know. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited.
I'm so curious.
How long has
you
this panel
mentioned-
been up,
you
by
sort
the
of
way? They
alluded
started,
to a
I
couple
think,
of
right
the
before I left
15
home.
minutes?
I left
that will
home.
be in
Yeah.
season 2, and
Yeah,
we'll
the
see
panel's
some of
supposed to be
them
for an hour.
in the
Holy
trailer.
shit.
Can I say
Yeah,
there
this
were
is live from South by Southwest going on right now. But
Can
yeah, they got like
I
10 more
say
minutes and then it's over with.
And it's
I'm
over.
trying
Yeah.
to I'm trying to
What-
get
what
through
can
the
you say
panel
about
and
Saber
then
Fights and Wolves?
unload all the
Well,
trauma
not
that I
exactly
feel in my
hiding.
heart
Uh,
after
just
the panel's
spoiler,
over
we're
with.
telling
There's
you.
a lot of
I-
trauma in my heart
Play
right
the game
now.
knows
Yeah.
about the factions.
I'm gonna need to rewatch the panel like
Same.
immediately because I've heard nothing that they've said. To be honest,
Some sort of militarized
like
group.
I've been looping the trailer in the background.
Fair fights.
Oh man.
We know
Yeah.
from this trailer is they
Yeah.
appear to be
Hold on.
somewhat agrarian. They all have these interesting scars on their cheeks that are clearly deliberately there, including
Finally.
even a kid. And then
Can you turn it up?
shows
Turn it up.
who's the bad guy? We see
Mhm.
you know a Seraphite in chains who's been beaten. We also see Seraphites running through the woods chasing somebody,
Mhm.
and that is part of what we dig into. But I think for fans of the game and for people who know nothing, especially the people who know nothing about the game, we'll get you exactly where you need to go, in part because you're going to be learning about it through characters that also don't know about it. And that's always helpful when you're writing.
Neil, anything you want to add?
Yeah.
No, not much. I don't know how to talk about it without spoiling
course
stuff.
not.
It's interesting for these characters to travel somewhere that has a history. That this place has also ended in 2003, and then had its own series of violence and factions and tribes that have formed, and then to walk into the middle.
They're
of an
singing it
ongoing
without saying it.
conflict.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then how do you navigate that? I feel like I'm already treading into spoiled territory.
Yep.
I
Thin ice.
have nothing to add.
Yep. The entire panel.
For
has
Bella
been
and
like
Pedro, I'm curious. Ellie and Joel mean so much to so many people.
She's a good interviewer
And I'm sure
because
that's
she is
something you
baiting them bad.
mostly understood
yeah.
going into season 1.
She is baiting them.
But now that season 1 has been out there and you've seen the impact the story has had on people, how did that change your understanding of what your character, let's start with you, Bella, about Ellie, means to people?
Loaded question.
That's a huge loaded question.
It's quite special. Like I've had, people I've like actually there was someone who worked on Anyway, sorry, this is just a random little thing. Someone that I watched on something else came up to me and said like how much the Ellie and Joel relationship meant to her because of like her relationship with her dad and like stuff like that. When people like very, very deeply relate to characters and sort of see a representation of themselves on screen within a relationship within an individual, like it is kind of cool, and it's something that I don't really think about. And then when for it to mean so much to someone, it makes it feel very special. And
She's dancing
it's
around
really
it.
nice.
She's trying.
Yeah.
I can continue to do that for people.
Look at her. She's like,
it's nice because on the
what
one
else
hand,
should I
it's just
say?
like, well, it depends on how you watch it. On the one hand, it's just like can be just
He's like,
entertainment
it's
for some
okay.
people, and on
I got
the
you
other
back.
hand,
I'm gonna be alley.
this entire world, and
That's a father move right
like,
there.
people
That's a
like
father
Right?
move.
Yeah,
Right there.
the- the- yeah.
I love that
Yep.
there's that
Dad
respect
move.
for people who watch it and
Yep.
how much it can mean. Like people can watch it and just to watch, you know. And then this, anyway, I'm rambling, but I think that's kind of cool.
Well, that was a great answer.
Well done.
Oh,
well done.
Ellie.
Craig is cracking
It's beautiful.
Oh, well done.
Pedro.
The question.
The question is
He's just bad.
Joel and what he means to people, and how sort of going into season 2, knowing that maybe even more than you did going into
Like
season
shifted his
1,
body weight.
what you've experienced in terms of what Joel means to people.
Just realizing I lost my hearing at a Beyonce concert during like it.
Oh my God.
He's smart.
Anyway,
He's like, I'm a.
He can get away
draw
with
this
it.
out.
Yeah,
I
he
think
can get
that-
away with it.
we were aware that this relationship meant so much to everyone that played the game. And I think that scared us a lot because we wanted to meet an expectation, but at the same time, it was something that kind of anchored us to the characters and the story of Joel and Ellie, and under the guidance of Craig and Neil was something that held us and was our guide into the characters and a very easy way to bond us to one another. And then there were so many other things to bond over in terms of how physically intimidating the shoot was, how long the shoot was, how much fun we had, how new all of it was, how new we were to each other and as a crew in every way. So I think that our dream would be for that to be shared with everyone and for everyone to get a sense of what we were experiencing and on so many levels in service of these characters and also in the truth of our experience. Oh, Jesus. But yeah,
Well done.
Dial it down.
Oh my God.
I'm dropping bars.
Inside of that beautiful answer, Pedro talked a little bit about like sort of what was intimidating.
I think I talk about Gustavo.
I'm wondering, for the rest of the cast, maybe starting with you, Kaitlyn, what was the scariest thing for you taking on this role? Was it thinking about your dad, or was it thinking about clickers at craft service, or what was the most
Yo, that's
intimidating
such a
thing for you?
trigger
That is-
question. That is wrong.
He's doing it on purpose.
It's a lot of it is intimidating. I think stepping into a world that is so deeply loved.
It's okay, Ronan.
Is nerve-wracking and
She's got this. I
anxiety
believe her.
inducing, but I think yeah, gosh, I knew that we were gonna be like doing a lot of stunts and a lot of physical stuff. That was gonna be a lot, but I was really kind of looking forward to that because it's not something I've ever really done before. But yeah, I think there are like Pedro said, there's so many expectations going into this, and I think it was just a matter of balancing that, but also
Such a
coming to it
nail-biting
with
interview.
my own ideas, and again building
Press
the
conference.
character with
Yeah.
Craig and Neil, and
It's a
figuring
good
out
primer.
what Abby was going to be, and yeah, but it's all sort of nerve-wracking, but I really felt like I was like kind of floating through this set. Truthfully, I felt like I was really being carried in a very, very, very special way that I honestly will never forget. So what felt like it was what felt like it was going to be scary was not. It wasn't at all really. It was a delight, actually. Yeah.
You also slayed. The fact
Was
that you
a
haven't done
delight.
stuff- She came in and she slayed. She,
Oh,
Pedro.
Pedro, come on.
She slayed.
Thank you.
Pedro.
No more questions. We're done for the
You're
night.
done.
yeah,
You're
leave
like,
it, yeah.
let's go.
Gabriel, how about you? What was
Oh,
most intimidating about
no.
season 2?
Go see her. No One Will Save You, the
first
Hulu
of all,
movie
so
with
I
the alien
second what
stuff. It's
Pedro
really
says.
good.
Yeah,
Black.
she was really good.
Murders it. It's unbelievable. For me, man, that's also I'd probably just echo what Kaitlyn says. There was a lot of additional physical requirements this time
Yeah,
around.
fucking murders it.
and,
Come on, dog.
This time I was there in the winter. So yeah, I mean, negative 20 Celsius is no joke. It's a very real thing.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
I got to the point where I could differentiate fluctuations between like negative 22 Celsius and then like negative 8 about like an hour and a half later. And I'm like, wow, I warmed up a little bit. And, so I think that was probably what I was considering before going in. I try to get myself in good shape, and Craig's like, no, man, you're not. You're old. You're supposed to be out of shape. So he's giving me this blank check to eat cookies with Cookie Monster like we did today. But,
Yeah.
Izzy,
that's
how about
cute.
you?
I thought somebody would be mean along the way. I mean, there's so many crew and cast members. I thought like, oh, somebody's got to be mean. I was like, it's definitely going to be Craig, like obviously. But I was pleasantly surprised. Nobody was mean, and maybe because we were in Canada, it's the stereotype might be true, but I found myself just wanting to give all I could back to the people who were so kind to me. I hope if they're watching this that the crew, feels the love and joy. It was really special.
I feel the passion behind this panel, and yet them doing their best not to let loose stuff out of the can.
Oh yeah, you know it.
I'd say the sheer scale of the set and the show.
Young is so
the fact that
chill.
It was in its second season. But like everyone's been saying, the cast and crew.
Imagine when we hear him in his southern
They were so
accent.
warm and open.
Look who
and
decided to join us
inviting,
today. And it's just like,
and
oh.
energy was always
Yeah.
so much more calm and chill than I imagined something of this scale to be. Yeah.
Like Young has a chill vibe around him.
We can tell.
Get in the Young aura, you just relax.
Just unwind.
Like I am tense. I'll go over there and just like, oh yeah, hey man.
I'm
Okay,
so
now that
ready
I
to talk about this
we're
trailer.
almost out
My
of time, but now that I
God.
made you all do therapy, about what intimidated you most, maybe we could end with everyone's favorite day or moment on set of season 2,
Oh my
especially
God.
these
Yes,
guys that
please.
you each directed
Let's end this.
episodes.
My God.
Do you have a favorite
Don't
memory
tease
that
the
you want to
scene.
share?
We're
Craig?
gonna talk about it, but
Yes, but I can't, so I won't share those. I'll talk about the very first moment of shooting, which for some reason they call day 0. I don't know why, because that should just be 1. I don't know who they're fooling.
That's funny.
And it's a scene where Dina comes to visit Ellie, and phone call, and it was
HBO
Izzy's
saying
first
don't
scene. It was
bullshit.
our first time
Yeah.
looking at Isabel and Belle together, the Dina Ellie chemistry. What was going to happen? I don't know. Take 1, action. There it was. Instantly. I mean, it was the relief. I just
not to be the vinyl shop
the relief
moment.
and just like
Right.
joy. I
Where they're like,
felt
okay, it works.
it reminded me of the first time I saw Pedro and Bella in a scene together, where it was just, oh, we're okay. We're going to be great. And so that moment there with the two of them right off the bat on day 0, I think it's the one I can talk about.
Neil?
There's one scene in particular between Joel and Ellie that was in the game that I got to direct a second time for the show.
There it is. There it
really
is.
broke my heart, really moved me. I don't want to talk about that. That's too much of a spoiler. Instead, I'll talk about my first day on set. I'm giving a tour to Mike McCready, who's the lead guitarist of Pearl Jam. I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan.
That is
Yep.
Wild.
And I'm kind of showing them around. I go by their Bella and Izzy are shooting the music store scene that you see in the trailer. Not too much of a spoiler,
Yeah.
I hope. So I'm there with Mike McCready, and there's like a Pearl Jam poster on the wall. He's very excited. And then I go with him and his family into Joel's house. And I'm there with Hallie Gross, my co-writer on the game. And I'm like, look at the dining room. It's just like the game. Look at this. And I'm trying not to freak out because I'm with the lead guitars of this band that I admire on this show. And, like, I see like this cast in the costume. It's all come to life. It's very weird and surreal. And then Mike McCready picks up Joel's guitar and sits on the couch and starts jamming. And I'm like, what is happening right now? This is so bizarre and weird. It's like, this should just end right now. Just end it now because it doesn't get any better than this. Anyway, that was my favorite.
I love that Ronan's just losing it.
I know.
Bella, what was your favorite? And was it your performance of Linger that we're going to show right now? No.
That you're never going to see.
I have the tape.
My favorite, oh man, we shot for so long, I can't remember. But I got to do lots of oh, you know what? It rained so much in the show. Not in real life, but in the show. My favorite days were the ones where I was dry. They were few and far between. And also all the stunts. I got to do a lot of that this year, which I really loved. So
that means Seattle.
It's a bit of a cop-out answer, but the days I was dry and the days I got to fight somebody.
Dry and punching things. I love it. Pedro, how about you? Oh, we're out of time. You don't even want to give us one?
Sorry.
Sorry?
That's how you
Take us out,
tell.
Pedro, with one final happy moment of filming the show.
There was one happy moment.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Just the one.
It was happy for me because there were so many witnesses of who breaks first and who makes who laugh.
Yeah, who breaks first because who makes who laugh? Exactly.
I make you laugh because you think I'm stupid. Like I'm not trying, like, but I'm not trying to make you laugh. I just am like doing my thing, and you laugh at me. The end.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
end. Thank
Joel
you
and
to
Ellie.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh Lord.
Lord.
Okay.
Oh.
So hope you're all having fun. Yeah, I think we are. Okay, so let me see. Let me get rid of this.
Oh, it's finally over? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing that.
I'm busy, Brian.
Or do you have the trailer set up, Sam?
I can. Sure.
Or do you want me? I'll just set it up here on mine.
I've got
Okay,
it set up. I got it ready.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing this. So before we start it, I just want to do this because, folks, we're gonna have to. Fuck, man. We're gonna have to talk spoilers. We just gonna have to. We're gonna have to talk spoilers. But before we do so, I want to give people who are watching this, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day while watching this. The panel is apoplectic, the feeling that I'm feeling right now, and for those in the future, thank you so much for spending time with us. But I want to give you a non-video game spoiler review thoughts of the trailers. No more panel. I think the panel was a blast for those of us who could keep up with it, because I know that was a while to start the trailer before the panel. Immediate thoughts on the trailer. Joel, I'm going with you again because you're the one that's seen it the most, I think, out of all of us. And just again, in a non-spoiler way, what are your thoughts going to without the trailer? And then we'll go to Di, and then we'll go to Sam, and then I'll give you my thoughts, and then we're gonna play that motherfucker again.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead,
Spoiler-free thoughts. I thought it was a pretty great trailer, to be honest with you. God, what can I even say? With season one, I'm probably in the minority where I gave it like a 7 out of 10, which is pretty low for me. It's good, but if the game is here, the show is sort of here. Great show. Well, a show that I enjoyed at least. So season 2, I've been like, oh man, because part 2 of the game is kind of don't know.
Terrell.
Yeah, I'm aware. I haven't said anything spoilers, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of changed my life. So I don't know. I thought it was great. Move on from it.
Okay. Okay. Di, what did you think of it?
Dude, I don't even know where to start. Like I almost I'm having kind of that moment that people always use like Endgame and Infinity War as a descriptor. Like I wish I could experience part 2 for the first time all over again. And so I'm wondering, like, how are people that have no idea, that somehow they haven't Googled anything, they haven't looked up any spoilers about the game, how are they absorbing that trailer? Because to me, like, damn, I'm having like kind of like both sides, right? I'm looking at it with a new lens of like, wow, this is kind of like experiencing it for the first time. But on the second hand, it's like, shit, I know where that's from. I know, ooh. But what got me the craziest was the spores thing. I was like, fireflies are spores, and I feel like Ellie in that moment is also having that moment of like, wait, those don't look right. And so the fact that Craig like confirmed like we're stepping into that direction like officially, that's neat. That's going to be really cool to see. But yeah, no other notes yet because I only watched it once. I watched it once right before talking to you, so I got to watch it again.
We'll watch it again. Sam, spoiler free.
Same.
There it is.
Same.
That's all.
Yep.
Let's start this up. I'm not gonna say. There's no way for me to not spoil it. What are you talking about? Go ahead, let's go.
Yeah.
You saw me. You saw me. So that's how I felt.
I'm kind of sad I missed it.
Yeah. Go rewatch it when you can.
Rewatch. Yeah.
Let's see. Before we get to any comments down, I'm gonna add it. And Darrell, you ready?
Yeah. You know, I've already seen it multiple times, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Play it.
And we already reacted to it, but yes.
Play it, Sam.
Wait, is Busy coming in? Busy, are you coming?
Is Busy supposed to be here?
Nah, he's 5 minutes away. Nope. All right, here we go. Here comes the trauma, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, boy. This was crazy.
You okay?
Right there, that shit.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're going there.
Oof.
This is where we live. What's that?
The fence.
So crazy.
What's inside?
People.
What's outside?
Wow. Monsters.
By the time the sun comes up tomorrow.
Oh shit! I just realized what that was.
You're gonna lose.
Don't you know what he did?
God, no. God. And that scene right there, I know who that was.
You swore.
Oh, bro.
All right.
Okay.
So are we gonna go through like moment for moment here, or what are we doing?
Okay. Before we go through the moment, fuck. Okay, so last warning. I can't be any kinder or any more sympathetic this way. That I'm like, last warning, y'all. Spoilers. Like hell, I'll even I'll put it right now in the comments that we are talking spoilers. Like,
Yeah.
please,
You need like a
if you haven't,
little banner on the screen or something.
I know, right?
yeah, like, please, man, like, come on, like, okay. Spoiler talk. Di, this is the second time you've seen it. How are you
Mhm.
feeling?
Well, yeah, like I just said, I just realized that there are some other things that I had noticed. I didn't notice the first time around, so I'm already like, I even though I know the story, as much as I am familiar with the story and how much new stuff there is obviously going to be, I think this is it. I'm not watching anything else. Like I cut myself off with anything, with any series. Like when Daredevil was doing all this stuff, after the first major trailer, I was like, that's it for me. So
Same.
I'm gonna keep myself fresh. This is it. But yeah, the can I say it? Are we spoiler central now?
Yeah, right now
Okay.
I put it in the bottom right there. Right now
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
type it into the comment section that I'm
Perfect.
like, I don't know how much more I can warn
The-
people to be like, we're talking spoilers.
The space shuttle. I just realized that the space shuttle thing is there, and I was like, wait, dude, that's gonna wreck me. That entire scene's gonna wreck me. Everything's gonna wreck me. Actually, I'm very curious how they're gonna. But yet, still no Lev and Yara spotted.
That was what I was gonna get into. There's no way
Yeah.
they can't introduce them
Mm.
in this season in some capacity, which is that's why I was curious why they didn't show up on stage. But maybe it's just so many new characters they didn't want to overwhelm everybody. And
Yeah.
to me,
I
that
hope.
is a clear indicator that leads into the third season.
Same.
That they're going to be more of a, and rightfully so, because there is the transition period in the game
Mhm.
that leads more into them anyway. So
Mhm.
it's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Fully agree. Yeah.
I should have done a subtle layout to give you the moment. But thank you, Di. Okay. You've been waiting for an hour. Release it, brother. Let it out. What do you got?
Man, I still don't really know where to begin. I mean, it's a pretty strong trailer. I guess the things that stand out, I guess, I guess the Dina and Ellie moments stand out. Like when it's them dancing in that hall, it quite literally, even down to like the color palette and the lighting, it literally looks of the game, which is pretty impressive. There's a sustained moment where Tommy is like lighting some bloater, I guess, with a flamethrower. That's great. Shots of Jackson are really strong. The VFX is really strong. Maybe even stronger than season one. It looks really well polished, actually. What else can I say? I guess I'm just curious how they're gonna pivot this whole Abby thing, because I've only just seen still images of Kaitlyn, I guess is her name. I'm not familiar with her. I've never seen her. I've never seen her. At least to my knowledge, I have not seen her in anything. So I'm really curious how this like small, kind person is supposed to become Abby. That'll be intriguing. I'm curious, like, what about her specifically? Because they had to have looked at hundreds of people. It's like, why was she the one? I'm curious about that. I don't see it, but at the same time, I wouldn't say like I don't think this person can do it. I'm just very curious why she was chosen of all people. That'll be intriguing. Like, why not go with God? What's that? What's old chick from what's old chick from the Twilight movies? Kirsten something Stewart, is that her name? Okay, she was. What's the movie she was in recently? Love Lies Bleeding.
Love Lies Bleeding.
Okay, whatever. The muscular chick,
Katie
it's
O'Brien.
interesting.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Sure, but it's like, why didn't they like go with someone like that? It's very bizarre that they sort of went with like this normal, kind of unassuming person. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm a little bit concerned. Again, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know her work, but
you gotta. If you're familiar with Kaitlyn, if you were familiar with Kaitlyn's work, you would get it. I think because she's incredibly good at conveying trauma and anger, and she can cry but furiously. Like you saw it in the first teasers, when she turned her head and she had that look in her eyes, and she's got this way of being like really cold. Because again, I've said this before on the show that Kaitlyn was my first choice for Ellie originally, and then I didn't even know that she had tested for Ellie before for potentially the movie. But now that at first I was like, Abby, and I said the same thing as you. I was like, I kind of wanted somebody that fit the build more, but once I put that sort of understanding aside and really thought about it, because she's in this other thing. I think it was a series or a movie. It's on Netflix called like Unbelievable. And man, she is really something else when it comes to conveying emotion. I was like, okay. And then so I could see her actually, even though she's not there physically, she can fill that space emotionally, which is, I think, something that some of the other actresses maybe that's where they lacked. That's probably where they lacked. They couldn't bring that part of it. So I'm kind of confident. I'm confident.
Yeah, I guess maybe her build maybe doesn't matter in light of her actions, So
yeah. Well, it's kind of like what I think Neil said in a recent interview that her build in the series isn't as important because in the game it's kind of like you wanted somebody to measure up to Joel, right? Like to kind of give you the gameplay, which is like, okay, that's a respectable answer. I get that, and I think it makes sense. But yeah, maybe we just don't see the physicality as much in the series as we did in the game. I guess maybe there's not that physicality anymore. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. If I didn't know if you know that, but like that's something that they immediately got off the bat. They're like, no, she's not gonna be buff. It's a different interpretation of Abby. And I think it's so weird my relationship with that character, because from that point of view, I understood it. It was almost the anti version of Sarah Connor for me from T2, where she had built herself up almost like a Terminator to stop a Terminator. Abby did that in the game,
right?
For reasons. And to me, I think that's why they're playing more with the regular version to make it look like, oh man, she could easily come off like Ellie. And they're very leaning into the two sides of the same coin iconography idea that they have for their store. So that's the aspect I go for. Samuel, talk to me.
Yeah, no, I think that they selected her because of her acting. I think they wanted to bring a different layer and a depth to Abby that unfortunately people that played the game may have missed just based off of the trauma. Truth be told, a lot of people would not, and refused to even connect with Abby in any way, shape, or form because of her actions in the game without spoiling too much. And I think that because they have more time to really play, they can have an actress truly be that character too, but convey everything what that means look like from the push behind it. And I mean, from a physicality standpoint, I'm looking at one scene. I'll show you guys it real quick. Where is it? Here. Can you share that real quick?
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys remember this scene in the game, but there was a scene in the game with, I forget the name of the group, and I can't remember. Wasn't it Abby that was cornered by a whole bunch of different people in the dark in the same exact scenario?
So the group, the faction that co-owns Seattle, if you will, they're called the Seraphites. They also have a nickname that's almost like a what's the term? Xenophobic term, I guess, for them and whatnot. That they're also called the Scars. And there's a scene like this in Seattle where Ellie first encounters this group and sees how what's the right term, how much they like knives and how much they're interested in body anatomy. But yes, to echo what you were saying, yes, at one point in the game, Abby does encounter them and is put through a test, if you will, of meeting them.
Yeah, because it was like when I was watching the scene, I was kind of like, it's either two different perspectives. Like you said, the first time with Ellie sees it, or when Abby's going through it. And I'm curious to see which this is going to be. But I think that they're going to find ways of not just showing how strong Abby is mentally, even though unstable, willing to go through with anything. But I think that they're going to find ways of showing her physicality. And not just that, from Kaitlyn's standpoint, she looks a little bit bigger. From a shoulder standpoint, she actually does look a lot bigger than she normally is. Even in the last movie that she was in, it looks like she's been working out. So I'm not really sure. But I think that their point was to have somebody that could truly embody the character more so than the physicality side of it. I get it, aesthetics of it, but at the same time, it may cause the same exact effect as the game, which was so distracting. More people had issue of how she looked and what she did with her actions, and they made fun of that, the continuous route of the whole game. No matter what, how well the character actually performed, it didn't matter from people's perception. So I think that plays a role in this. But I think that there are so many different questions that I have, because I don't know. At this point, this is not a linear story. This is non-linear. This is just like the game, in my opinion. That's the part of this I want to have a conversation with you guys, because this is taking place in so many different points. And I am very concerned because there's a specific moment that we know. You can share this part right here, Ronan.
Yeah.
This moment right here, we know when this takes place. But how in 7 episodes are we going to get here already? Yeah. I really, truly have no clue. I was like, they haven't done a linear storyline well since I think the first beginnings of Arrow, in my opinion. There's very few storytellers that can do that right. But I'm not knocking them. I believe in them. But I was really hoping for a linear story. I wanted to go through the 5-year gap. I wanted to give time for these characters to breathe and then lead into what this is going to be. But I don't know, this scene right here, as soon as it played out, I was like, God, this is where the pain begins. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are definitely going to be some chunky episodes time-wise. So it's possible, but I feel like them taking like a non-linear route was kind of probably had no choice. I mean, the game is so huge. There's so much ground to cover. You almost inevitably would have to go a non-linear route, especially because how many episodes is it? Was it like 7 episodes? Jesus. So
yeah.
Seriously?
It's not a lot of time on the clock.
No.
Yeah. So I'm expecting 1.5 to almost 2-hour episodes if they really want to get into this much stuff. But then again,
right?
It's like how they're really playing. Then if that's the case, then they're really playing with structure. And I think that's something that that's probably a bold move on their own. They're like, okay, we're gonna have to like mess with structure and see how that turns out.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 episodes is really short.
It's really, really short. Well, and then you even see like Dina and Ellie in the subway, like you see that as well. And then like obviously there's a theater portion with Dina.
Yeah.
And then which is I guess would be the mid city, or when they're in the houses with Jesse and Ellie too. Like, or that might be the theater. And then it's like, oh shit, which part of that story are we talking about? And again, we still haven't even seen Yara and Lev in any of that. So it's like, holy shit, is it possible that they may have even dissected the day 1, 2, 3 even more than in the game, and they're gonna jump around like crazy? But I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I wouldn't be surprised. And that's something I would like to ask him that one day if I had the opportunity. Is like, okay, you have to structure the story of part 2. Map it out as much as you can. And then you have to decide, okay, what's season 2? What's season 3? And potentially what's season 4? And then it's like, where do you break it off? And then you have to analyze it to be like, is that a smooth tale to tell in one season? Because again, as much as right now we're going to talk about the scenes that they showed us, they dare show us, it's like, where is it going to cut off? Because then we have to wait a whole year to be like, yo, we have to get to that point.
Yeah.
Which ties us to that, and then it'll lead all that into another point if they go forth with the season 4 that they've been hinting at further down the road.
Now, do we think there's the slightest possibility that they'll do a double season this year? Not even double, but like the minute that season 2 ends, that they're like The Last of Us season 3, January 2026. Like, do we even think that that's even the slightest possibility? They'll immediately announce it, or do we think it's gonna?
I mean, it's definitely gonna have to come out like relatively soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would imagine something like that.
Mhm.
I know Craig was like throwing out like, "Oh my god, what if we get canceled?" But like
Yeah,
not,
there's no way.
It's not getting canceled. Like
No.
I don't even think it's possible personally.
Most subtle way of saying, "Motherfuckers, watch this season." Like watch it. Like we're gonna need.
Oh, y'all talking about people? Well, so okay, I'm gonna ask this question. This is a real question. If the inevitable will happen, how do you think people that aren't gamers are gonna actually emotionally react to it?
Oh man.
Because the thing is, we know we've been through it. Either you were spoiled before the game came out, or you played the game, and either way, the trauma still happened the same way. But imagine, like your mom or your cousin or your uncle who've never played the game, they experienced this. Are they going to feel the same exact betrayal? Like, are they going to be able to conditionally deal with the trauma after the fact? And if they go the route that the game goes in telling Abby's story, that same trajectory, and Ellie's same story, what's that going to look like?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, there's no denying that it's going to be. Well, this is assuming. I guess we're operating under the assumption that it's done accurately to the game. So if we are operating under that assumption, because that's the only way that would work. It won't work any other way. It would like upset people, but there's a difference between doing it in a way that's like, no, that kind of sucks. Really like that guy, and then doing it like the game. If it's like the game, again, there's no doubt people will be traumatized. I don't think that would lead to the cancellation of a upcoming season or seasons. I think that's over the top.
No, I know. I hear what you're saying, but the reason why I bring that up, and I'm gonna shut up after this. There were people that I know playing the game said, "I'm turning this crap back. I will not continue this, and I will not support Neil or Naughty Dog ever again." Straight up. Some people finish the game to hate it, like they played it. So I'm going back. That's all.
But the game,
gonna happen.
But the leaks. See, I wasn't around during like the leaks. I was unaffected, so I was able to process the story and like the way that it was intended to be processed. Like a lot of people jumped ship. A lot of people did that literally just strictly from the leaks alone. Like a lot of people are just like, you know what, I'm out. Just from the leaks alone.
Crazy.
Probably. God, it's hard to put like a number on it, but it felt like as if, like in hindsight, like hundreds of thousands of fans were either like on the fence or just completely checked out.
Right. Well, I mean, that's exactly why they're acting the way they are at South by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to be so careful because, like, I don't know, like maybe this is aging myself a bit, but when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out and they killed Gwen Stacy, and people that did not know, from a 1970s storyline that she dies, she very much dies, and they were traumatized by that film. They were like, why would Sony shoot themselves in the face like this? I can't believe they killed their leading lady. And then they were like, they're not going to get a third movie. And it didn't get a third movie. But that was Spider-Man, right? It's like a different landscape.
Beast.
And it's not gaming and the severity of like Naughty Dog and gaming fans, let alone
and the game was very well received critically. Very well received.
Yeah.
Way more than
critically.
Spider-Man 2. Yeah, correct.
Right.
I mean, there's still a lot of fan love.
Yeah.
But we can play semantics with that all day. That's a very like that's very like Last Jedi situation where like the haters of Last Jedi pretend like there's only 3 fans on Earth that love it. It's like, guys, let's like at least be realistic. But again, there's no doubt that it's traumatizing. There's no real way around that unless the execution was like sort of meh. But it seems like they're trying to. It seems like honestly they're trying to do worse in the game. I could be wrong in that regard because they did confusingly say that like they're trying to tone down the violence from the game, which is a bizarre sentiment. It's like I was like, wait, what? You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But you can't really tone down that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna have to happen. Yeah, either way. I know you have to go.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for taking the time. I just
Sure,
want to share this moment with you. So,
Yeah.
folks, before you go, folks, that's it. We're talking spoilers. Space shuttle, museum, get the fuck out of here. I want to hear, did I do okay? Are you kidding me? You're welcome, kiddo. Fuck me sideways. Holy shit.
I can tell you, Ronan, but I don't think I can say it on the stream.
That's fine. That's fine. You tell me. You will talk later. But
yeah.
You know how much.
I'll tell you guys, just not on the stream too. Just not on the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much
it's gonna be great.
That day that we met was a cool moment, and one of the blessed things this franchise has given me is another friend in life. So thank you so much for taking the time. Please plug your podcast. Plug anything you'd like to.
Yeah. Marvel MCU versus comic book podcast. Stark Contrast. STRKCNTRST on all the things. We just dropped a new episode today. We're talking about Daredevil, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I am wearing my TLOU like sweatshirt in that video too, because I was hyped for today. But yeah, check it out, and then hopefully I'll come back on here and talk to you guys soon about the show. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you're gonna be blessed. I'm calling you back for that.
Good seeing you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Have
see
a
you
good
later.
one. Endure and
Good
survive.
luck. Endure and survive. Bye.
Okay. I need to let it out. How the fuck are they already teasing the museum? How the fuck? How are they?
Because the ninja's gonna die.
Well, first off, I think 7 episodes is out. How many episodes was season 1? I can't remember.
9.
9. Okay. Yeah. Shorter than season 1 sounds like that doesn't make any form of sense to me. But I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me that Christopher Nolan is seemingly, anyways, trying to tackle the whole of Homer's Odyssey in one film, which I just started reading. And I'm like, bro, are we sure? So I don't know. I guess if there's a will, there's a way. But I think 7 episodes was unwise, unless. I feel like that's unwise. Maybe I'm missing something.
The only way I can see it going is if they add on episodes each other season. Like, okay, this is 7. We're gonna do 9 in season 3, and then we're gonna do 11 in season 4, just to have a good chunk of getting the whole story. That's the only way I could see them doing that way. And I think they wanted to see how this one turned out first, because they said at one point some episodes might rival movie length. So. I don't know. I don't know how it feels.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Joel, do you have a Threads account or no?
I was just about to say I'm not even really sure what that is. Is that for Twitter?
It's an offshoot of like Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even specifically know what that is. I'm sure I've heard of that vaguely, but I don't know what that is.
It's all good.
So no.
It's all good. I just wanted to just add more, advertise the stream more, and I didn't want to leave you out without a tag. But okay.
Sure.
Okay, so there's this shot. I need to show it.
Okay.
Hold on. Where? Damn it, that's not it. Okay.
I need to start.
Okay, so there's a shot, and hopefully Sam will set up later. There's a shot of a little girl who I'm willing to bet is a Seraphite. She's holding a hammer. I shit you not. I think that's the hammer that Abby's going to use. And it's the same hammer they've been teasing in the posters. And it's the same one that they first introduced in the games to showcase how Abby can be lethal and whatnot. I think that's the hammer. And I think, again, weird, super nerd, like telekinetic thing. I remember hearing a story of how Frank Darabont wanted to showcase where the grenade from season 1 of Walking Dead came about with Sam Witwer and how he was the soldier that became a zombie, a walker, if you will. I'm willing to bet they're probably going to tell us the story of that hammer and how it goes from one Seraphite to a wolf and Abby, and how, you know, something that can build houses can also tear and kill anybody apart. That is super nerdy, and I'm like kind of like embarrassed just I just like put it out like that.
The hammer thing is a interesting theory. Maybe.
Yeah, man.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's not there, damn it. But yeah, what else can we say? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I didn't even catch the astronaut flashback until like the second or third watch. I didn't even notice it.
You didn't spot it?
No. I mean, well, respectfully, there's a major difference between watching the trailer on the stream versus like just watching it so like raw, direct from me pulling it up off stream. But yeah, no, I definitely did not notice it on the first watch. But I wasn't really looking for, I don't know. I wasn't looking for Easter eggs or anything on the first watch. I was just like, does this look good? Yes or no?
Yeah.
But either way, that's pretty intense that they're gonna be covering that. But at the same time, like I've been seeing some people like shell shocked by this. It's like obviously they're gonna hit the biggest highlights from the game, obviously. So maybe not too shocking. Maybe more just emotionally wrecking than like I'm shocked this is happening, I suppose. I'm just really hoping that they hit the mark, I guess. It really concerns me that somehow we're going to pull this off with less episodes than season 1. Seems a little bit crazy, if you ask me.
Ambitious, yeah. I want to go through the comments. Thank you so much for anybody who's commented below. I know we've been rambling, but we just needed to let some stuff out before we do the comments. So let's talk to Keyblade Master Jeffrey. He says, I'm going to say that I didn't like part 2 for let's just say a few reasons, but I think the show might do things better than the game did. That's all I'll say. Cool. What's up, Teladia? If you're still watching, ¿Qué pasa, hermano? What the fuck? This is epic. Yes. I know. Spoilers. Yes. For anybody who doesn't know, we are talking spoilers. I can't. If people go back and rewatch this, I'm like, I made it plain as possible. He says, I think it'll work out better than it did in the game. In my opinion, it seems like the story for 2 works better for TV streaming, in my opinion. Hugh Heavens said that was me. I finished it.
Team
JVS. Oh no. That's what I did. I don't like the game, but I think I would like it better in the show way, if you know what I mean. Let it out. I tried. Maybe they're speeding running it. I hope not. I mean, that's the ish thing about the game is that it was 26 hours of just like Clockwork Orange style, just like your eyes spreading. You like just watch and play.
It was very well paced in the game. Very well paced.
It just, I think the hard part about it from a marketing standpoint, and again, they have to make this their own while also trying to convince HBO, like, how do we make sure we don't lose viewers? How do we make sure there's not any backlash from what the game had? Because from an optics standpoint, they're going to ask. They care about financial. They don't care about, like, the true nature of how the story was conveyed. So, truth be told, there may have been some conversations. They're like, look, how can you make sure we minimize damage when this moment happens? Because to me, what's going to be the real interesting part is on that 7th episode is how they end it, truthfully. Yeah. And regardless of if they paint this up looking really well, if they go back and forth from a non-linear standpoint really well, it's going to be how it starts and how it finishes. And the 3rd season is going to be about how it begins and how it goes without Joel or with him. I don't know. I think that's the thing. And I made a sentiment that, man, I guess this is the last time we're going to see Pedro Pascal on this show, because either one is going to start the new season with him and then he's gone, or he's already literally going to be gone and we start a season with just Ellie on her revenge trail. I just don't really know. But I think that is something they had to think about from an optics standpoint when it comes to marketing this show, because HBO would probably rather have this show at least last 5 seasons. But truth be told, it's only going to be able to be carried for 2 seasons with the 2nd game, which is why one of the questions I asked was that, how are you guys going to tell the story? If they told the story in a linear standpoint, there's 5 years worth of story that they could tell without going all through where we just saw in the trailer. But all that's going out the door. Like you can't do 7 episodes and then also put in 5 years that we don't know about.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. So I really wish they would have went that route, because there's a lot of story they could have told that we've never seen from the games. And it would have took a little bit more breathing time with, if they go and do Abby's route, taking time with it as well. I just don't know how they're going to do this in 7 seasons. But I
guess if they're, I don't know. I'm sort of thinking out loud here, but I guess if they're treating it like a 7-hour long film, I mean, I would not do this, but I mean, I guess if you put a gun to my head, I mean, the only real route to take is sort of think of it like a 7-hour long film, and from that perspective, I mean, it's possible. That's a stupid route to take, but I mean, it's possible, at least possible, or at least to tell half of it anyway. It's possible. Why you would do that, I don't know, but hey, at least it won't be boring. So, yeah.
Nerdgasm, Jeffrey. Nerdgasm. Yep. I did. Yep. I believe that RBR gets 2 seasons. That's not out of the realm of possibility. The game made me jump so many times. I only played it once. I am not a fan of being jumped scared. Hello. Fair.
I think for me, Sam was talking about, like, how are they going to end like the 7th episode? For me, it's about how are they going to it's funny that, like, we have not specifically talked about it. We've weirdly been talking around it, even though we're in the spoiler section. But I think how they handle Joel's death is the thing that they have to get right. I feel like if they don't get that right, it can make the difference between this being a successful show and a show that kind of just, it's like, oh, another video game adaptation gone to shit. So they kind of have, this is like a pivotal moment that they have to get right. I almost don't really care about the whole, what are the effects of the traumatizing the audience. Like, what, that's not knowable. Neil Druckmann had no idea that people were going to react the way they did, and he was anticipating an intense response. Okay, so that part's unknowable. It just needs to feel accurate. Like, the one thing that I loved about the season 7 premiere of The Walking Dead is that it was not only done accurately, I personally think it was worse than what was on the page. Like, they really went they really went full out, and they kind of have to commit, like at the very least, like, people need to walk away with the same feeling as you did the game. It kind of doesn't matter if you have to kind of cut corners visually or something like that. Like, it still needs to feel the same way. So that part I'm kind of concerned about because it's such an important. You can't fuck this part up. Okay, if you want to make like the sorry.
Go ahead, Drew.
Nah, it's just I have really strong feeling. Well, I guess we all do, but I have really strong feelings about this sequence. And it's like you really cannot fuck this part up. You just can't do that. If you want to like shorten the astronaut sequence, or like if you want to actually fuck up like Dina and Ellie or something, whatever. But this particular moment is like, this is a very pivotal thing. It's literally the driving force of the whole second goddamn game. All right. Yeah. So I just hope they know what they're doing, man. Just hope they know what they're doing.
So Ronan, as somebody that is traumatized by the game and doesn't like to play the game, unlike Jarrell, what is your emotions about it? Because do you want them to change it, or do you want them to keep it exactly the same? I'm curious. I know how Jarrell feels about it, but I'm curious about Ronan. Ronan, for all intents and purposes, does not want to necessarily just jump right back into the second game, even though he appreciates it.
Sure.
He is traumatized by it. So, Ronan, for you, do you want them to change it and tailor it to something different? Because that's what I'm curious about him.
Can I ask a clarifying question? What do you mean by change? What do you mean by change it? Because you can't skip it. So what do you mean by changing it?
They can control the narrative whatever way they want to.
Do you mean
the story itself, the way that
alternate
the story
how it goes,
the way that the execution is, the way that everything complete. They could change it if they wanted to. I mean, it's literally the creator and Craig. So
what, like toning it down or something?
Just in general. Just in general, it depends on how people's perception is. A lot of people didn't feel the way you felt, Darrell. A lot of people, I felt the way you felt, but there's a lot of people that are like, no, this is too much. I wish they would have changed this. Wish they would have changed that. And heck, even Hugh right now is like, don't kill Joel, just cripple him.
Well, we all know that's going to happen, correct?
But no, what I'm saying,
or do we feel differently?
She says that you know what he did, like
right. But what I'm asking is, Ronan, would you want them to change it? That's because that's what I'm really getting at. Because I don't want them to change it. I'm one of those ones like Darrell. I don't want them to change it. But if you do, I want you to say it, because there's going to be other people in the comment section that feel the same exact way. So, Ronan, the floor is yours.
Come on.
Yeah, it's your floor on this one. Walk the hell away.
Listen.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
When I finished it the first time, I was like, you know what they should have done? It should have been Joel versus Abby, and like Joel should have looked at Ellie one more time, and like he and Abby should have been like thrown off together off a bridge and just both fall down a huge ass building. It's like they're both dead, and like that would have been the way, almost the hero like going out like that. But like they said, this is not the type of world. It's not that type of story. Hi Darren, how you doing? Have they cast Mr. Brick and Mr. Balaton? Nice.
Well, I get like to me, there's not a nice way. There's not a nice way of doing it. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it. There's no nice way of doing it. This is where I'm confused about where Sam's coming from. Like, it doesn't matter if you change the order of the events. It doesn't really matter if you tone down the on-screen violence, which would be weird, but the same takeaway is going to be there. Yeah, no matter how. So it's like, what are we really talking about?
It's to me like, even if they go almost frame by frame the way they did in the game, it's gonna give everybody a reason to be just as visceral as Ellie was the next day or the following, whenever she said, I'm going after her, and like, if you want to come with me, great. If not, oh well. To me, I don't know. Like to me, like, I know it's inevitable and it's HBO. If this is the same place that gave us the Red Wedding, small room, golf club, no problem. It's just, it's gonna be brutal. What's gonna be suck, because it's gonna happen. What's gonna suck is when is it gonna happen? When we play on that first episode and we start covering it for all y'all in this channel, for the whole time I'll be like, is it happening now? Is it happening in this episode? How long? How much more longer do I have to wait to like just get it out? And it's gonna suck for them, for the marketing wise, because it's just like, Pedro, how do you feel about the season? And it's just like, I don't know. To me, it's just, if you're gonna go hard, if you're gonna go brutal, faithful to the game with that scene, it better be as beautiful and harmonic with the museum scene. Like, that's the thing. If you want to go full HBO with that scene, you better go all the way again when it comes to the space shuttle and the museum and seeing the dinosaurs. Like, that's the thing. Like, there has to be a balance. You want to do that to that character? You want to do that to me? Okay, but you better give me that one. And they've been teasing it ever since season 1. You never been in a car? Oh, it feels like a space shuttle. And her talking about astronaut and whatnot. It's like, they've been teasing it. It's been a layup in the making. But yeah, I've had ideas of like, no, Joel would still die, but he would go in a more Logan-esque way. Or like, don't be what they made you. And like, he would have a heartfelt last moment with Ellie. That's, to me, that's the perfect, sequence or version of this type of character, which is like a gruff old guy who did find some light at the end of his life. That's probably the way I would have gone out with it. But then again, like, it's again, this is where they have to balance it out. Not even just in the brutal and beauty, but also, what do you change? What can you alternate? And what can you keep? You have to keep faithful. For example, I think, this is my speculation, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up in a minute. But when she says you swore, she knows what happened in the hospital. She finds out what happened, like in the game. And I don't think they're outside the hospital. I think they're right outside Jackson when she confronts him. And it's almost a very like bleak thing to say that, like, oh wow, she's confronting him right outside the door of their safety zone. And it's threatening him to tell her to like flat out admit what he did. And they're like, I'll go back right through those doors, or you don't, you keep telling me this BS, and I'll just walk off somewhere else. So I think they're already changing it. Like, they're already changing the execution of it in other realms.
Sure.
Like, to me, the kiss with Dina, I know that's probably right after the mask of like, I'm immune, and she realized, wait, what? Ellie's immune? But then again, there's so much space they're showing us that we haven't seen before. A moment with Joel looking at Ellie's tattoo, like talking about the tattoo and why probably she went out of her voice saying, we already know that they cast Kat in the show. For those who don't know, when they remastered or re-released part 2, they put in some sequences that were taken away that you can play or you can experience. One of them is that you meet this character that is hinted at in the game of Kat, which I think was Ellie's first girlfriend in Jackson. And she's the girl that gave Ellie the tattoo of the moth covering her clicker bite. And so like they're already expanding on the world and the story. And I'm very, very, I can't wait to hear that podcast of after every episode. Be like, okay, how did you get to this sequence? And they break it down in a commentary way. But I don't know, man. I'm nervous. You saw me, dude. I jumped for the space shuttle. Imagine if they're already showing shots of what happens before they get to the moment. Joel slamming the door in the cold, riding the horses. Like, we already seen shots of Tommy going back to Maria with like a mark, like a cutout mark on his eye where he's bleeding down. That's very much probably the headbutt from the revolver he gets in the scene. Like, I'm already going like, oh fuck, that's right before, or oh fuck, that's probably right after. And so I'm gonna need therapy.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like, I don't know. There's, like I said before, like there's not a nice way of think of giving the audience, Abby brutally killing Joel. There's not really like a nice way of doing that. Even if you did some shit where I don't know. It was kind of like you're mostly seeing off-screen shots, and you're just hearing like Joel like begging for his life and like the swinging of the club or something like that. Even if it's something like indirect like that, it's still really traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and dude, they already showed something cool. They showed Eugene walking. It's probably before the events of the game, and you see right behind him Joel, and he's putting up his rifle, and I'm like, what does that mean? What is that significant? What is that implying between Eugene and Joel? Because Eugene knows in the games he knew Tommy from their Fireflies days. That's where the connection is with Jackson and later on with Ellie and Dina. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna see. Hold on. I'm gonna get rid of these tabs, Sam. I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna share mine so I can go through just a few shots from the trailer. What the hell? Okay. Shit.
Did we lose him?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some shots from the game.
Sure.
That again, they're echoing stuff to come down that like I don't know if that was written beforehand or if there's something they saved for the show. What do you think? Are you excited for the new stuff, or you're like just get the stuff I know right?
Like what, like the therapists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for all of it. I'm definitely particularly nervous about the therapist thing, actually, because that's like a wild swing, like new edition. And it's like I don't know, like would Joel Miller really have went to therapy? I don't know if I'd buy that, but I'm curious to see how the show swings it.
I think a lot of people go to therapy, and even if you've seen, it's another show that's on Disney Plus right now we can't talk about, but there are plenty of people through history, right, to appease their significant other or child or whoever to show that they're going to be willing to put in the work that'll do it, even if it's not something that they believe in or want to do. And that may be the situation for him, is that he wants to show like, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do this. Or he might be trying to tell that to himself. But I think that it would make sense that he would do something like that to show like I've changed or I am changing, even if he doesn't really truly believe it. Because a lot of people through history have done the same exact thing. Like, yeah, I did therapy. I did it.
Yeah,
but not made a thing of it.
I mean, Joel kind of, I don't know. He kind of strikes me as the kind of person where, like, if he felt like he was being wronged, he would just like go kill the person in their house, maybe even eat lunch in person's house after he killed them, and then leave. He's like kind of strikes me as one of those people. So I guess it depends on how they execute it, but I think that's a weird sentiment. I don't know. I have a hard time. I don't know. It'd be like, Netflix's Punisher, like after a murderous rage, being like, I need to check myself into a therapist. Like, I don't know if I'm buying that. I don't know about that. But hey, it's all about the execution. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're gonna have to ask ourselves: do we trust Craig and we trust Neil? Because going into the first season, a lot of us had trepidations and concerns. Could they even make this even be a possibility? Let alone like could it be masterful, but could they even do it to it be good, right? And they all in all, no one can say this was not good. Some people can question was it great. Some people can question was masterful, but the first season was absolutely good. No one can question that. And that was the first hurdle. Now, this is a whole nother beast because just how long the second game is. My concern, because it's non-linear, I just don't know how they're going to execute it within the amount of episodes they're trying to do it in. And it's no way it's not going to be 2 seasons. There's no way. And my question that I put for Neil, I can't remember what exactly I said, but it was something along the lines of like, have you thought about the process of how you're going to move forward with this after the story of the second game is told? Like, because that's not the end. Like, there's more story. Are you going to stop there, or are you going to continue to write and let the show carry itself, or will you need to stop and pivot and do a game? Like, what are you really going to do once you told the story of the second game? But again,
Well,
it's an amazing trailer.
Yeah, I mean the trailer was great. I don't know. They're playing with my soul here, with my heart.
Oh, dude! Speaking of playing with the soul, again, look at that. Like, fuck, man. Like, I was like, oh no! And then look at this, Sam. Tell me if I'm going crazy. I told this to Joel that like, I wonder if they're gonna play with like the origin of Abby's hammer, if you will. Like, look at this.
They absolutely are. They absolutely.
Like, look at that. That is Abby's hammer. Like, there's no way like that's not happening and whatnot. Like,
yeah, they're definitely gonna go that route for sure.
Like, look at that. Like I was. Oh man. Like, what else? Yeah, seeing Jesse and Ellie, like that's probably right before she gets on the boat and has to go through downtown Seattle to get to the pier.
Sure.
What else?
I'm really excited. Yeah. That in fairness, like it was subtle. I definitely missed that shot on the first time through.
Yeah, like look at that, man. Like, oh man. What else? I mean, seeing the spores, like.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the spores, but yeah, that's very cool though.
It's so nerdy that I'm like, yay, spores and whatnot. And,
I hope this is really nerdy. I hope the spores are actually something that's like in camera, you know. I guess if you have to do it in post, whatever. But it would be a lot cooler if you pulled off the spore effect, like practically in camera. That'd be really cool, especially from a lighting standpoint.
Yeah, and then you see Eugene there, and like again, why is Joel holding a gun to him? Like what is that about?
Or at least we think. At least that's what they want you to think. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that look of. And then you see Theo Tommy taking care of business.
That was a great shot.
Oh my god!
I'm really excited about the. I think the second thing that I feel like they really need to get right, outside the death sequence, is Ellie and Dina. I think they really need to nail that. Which seems like they might, but they really need to bring that one home. That's a very like crucial part of the story.
Yeah,
very
because
crucial.
Because people had issues with him, but I was so thankful that they were there for Ellie. Like without hesitation, she's like, "All right, you want to go to Seattle? Let's go get him." And it's just like right at that. I mean, later down the line, she said something that I forget why would you say that, Dina, but like it was. This is again another thing of like, oh my gosh, she knows, and it's probably either him admitting it or not. I don't know.
By the way, just a theory. Just a theory. I wonder, because obviously, the trailer confirmed we're going to be seeing flashbacks, like the museum. But I wonder, like, will there be aspects? Because it's Pedro Pascal. Like, you want to have him around, whether he's alive or not. You want him around like as long as possible. You know what I mean? It's Pedro. Be like if you had Denzel Washington. You want Denzel Washington around as much as you want. As you can in your show. So I wonder if maybe they'll include maybe like a ghost of him or something. Like I wonder if she'll see like some kind of strange like hallucinations of him, maybe. Like
to
the
me,
moment where she says that you swore or something like that. I can't remember what she said verbatim, but she said something like that. And maybe it is just me. It's just a theory. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. But my first thought was like, what if like he's already dead at this stage and she's like speaking to like a memory or like a hallucination? Never know,
bro.
You know,
On her way to Seattle, she's just like his conscience or her thought of his conscience being there. Just be like, Ellie, please don't do this. Just let it go. And be like, no, you swore. And like,
yeah,
dude, my idea I had after I finished the game, I'm like, you know what they should have done instead of this is that to even fake it more on us and be like, is he gone or not? Is like have Joel throughout the game more and almost be like he's on the road trip with Ellie, and that Dina and Jesse notice this, but they don't tell her that like, yo, he's not there. They let her process it because they realize he's not there, and she's just going through the process of like acceptance and whatnot. And like, the moment, it's in the video game trailer where you're like, what the hell are you doing here? You think I let you do this on your own? Like that'd be her thinking her father wouldn't let her go on herself. And like, yeah, man, that has been a idea of mine of like, no, she's processing Joel and almost like having a forgiveness moment throughout the whole game with a conscious or her ideas of a conscious of how much their combo would be going, because they've been saying like she's a bullshit reader. She can tell when there's bullshit or not. It's like, well, she probably knows how a combo between them would have gone. And yeah, man, I think that would be dope, and that'd be heartbreaking as well. That like she's going through
right,
it, like, and be like,
right,
kid, yeah.
Because there's only so many. Now that I think about it, there's only so many flashbacks that you could show. Unless you just like took like the museum flashback and just broke it up into 5 parts or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be like some way of like cutting corners around that, so because it's one big remix, right? So
yeah,
something to consider.
Yeah, what else is there? But yeah, April 13th, literally a month away.
Okay, so when are we gonna begin the screener?
I don't know if that's a thing. Who knows? I don't know.
It's gotta be coming like within like the next 2 weeks, right? Basically.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. HBO, if you're watching this, we would love to cover the show. We are going to cover the show either way. But if you want to be we want to have a little collaboration, feel free to hit us up on the socials. We'll be happy to talk with y'all. If Neil Druckmann, Craig Mason, Pedro, Pascal, Della Ramsey, the rest of the cast and crew want to talk to fans, want to interact, want to have engagement here, I would be honored to have you on the podcast and just geek out and have like almost cast commentary about an episode. Because for those who don't know, besides this stream, we have on my channel, I created a podcast called Bottles and Bricks, a Last of Us podcast that Sam is the co-host with, that Jarrell has shown up more than once, and that we talk about news and stuff coming about the Last of Us world. And I know for damn sure that what we're going to do is that as of now, the idea is that every Sunday, a new episode is going to be dropping from the 13th onwards for 7 weeks. A new episode is going to be dropping every Sunday. And so what we're going to do is that the following day on Monday, we're going to give you all the night and the morning to process what you've seen. And then that evening, late afternoon or early moment of the night, we're all going to have a stream on the channel. We're going to have people, hopefully, that haven't played the game, people that have played the game, and see how that interaction, juxtaposition, engagement is going to be. And if you're intrigued, you can show up on the comments. Let us know your feelings and thoughts on the episode. If you have anything else to say, share with us. Have a good engagement interaction with us. And I don't know. To me, that's something I was proud of in season 1, is that we had that engagement. And so for those who don't know, Bottles and Bricks, the Last of Us podcast, that's the podcast that we do. We'll be bringing that back on a weekly basis as best as we can. That first week, it's going to be chaotic because right after the episode drops, not too long after, I'm traveling overseas. And so for those first 2 weeks, I'm going to have to be mobile and so me and Sam are gonna have to like co-host, run the ship until I'm fully back into my office setting, if you will. But yeah, I am right now. I've been bugging a lot of people. I'm like, hey man, we need to talk about this or whatnot. And for folks, I don't know when we're gonna wrap this up, but please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the enthusiasm, y'all. If you know a content creator who's a big Last of Us fan, let them know that we have this podcast, and depending, I'll check out their stuff, and if I dig what they're bringing to us, please let them know about the podcast so we can maybe potentially have them on. And again, spread the the connection we have with each of us here as fans, and go worldwide. I want to meet people in Japan. I want to meet people in Latin America. I want to meet people in Europe who are Last of Us fans and have them on. Hopefully time zones can work out well, and have an engagement in different languages or in different ways to communication. That way everybody can have a chance at the podcast, because I think that's so much an echo of the world. And again, this show and these games have only focused on what's happened in the US for the most part. There's been hits where the incident happened, but I'm wondering, how did Mexico, how did El Salvador tackle Outbreak Day? How did Tokyo, how did England, how did London, how did Barcelona handle the outbreak? So I'm very interested to see how the fandom has their own corners and how they would have dealt with it and whatnot. But yeah, I am so pumped. It's going to be a chaotic schedule because, again, there's a lot of stuff dropping around at the same time. We got Devil May Cry from Netflix. We have Lazarus from the creator of Cowboy Bebop dropping another anime. We have Andor Season 2 that I'm going to be covering on the show as well. Currently, we're covering Daredevil Born Again. So it's a lot coming down the pipeline. And yeah. Oh, you know what we should also talk about that they haven't hinted at, I think? Gustavo Santaolalla's music. Right? That score for that soundtrack from that game. Different tone and instruments you use for that game, for that story, that I can't wait to hear people listen to Reclaim Memories. I can't wait for people to hear Beyond Desolation. Like, I want to see what they think of those tracks and what they take away from them, like I did. But what about you, Joe? Are you pumped for the music that Gustavo's
please correct me if I'm wrong. But I just hopped on Google and they're saying that Gustavo, they're saying that he did music for Babel from 2006, Brokeback Mountain, and the Motorcycle Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
If that is accurate, that is completely insane, because these are excuse me, these are three films that I love dearly. Particularly Babel. Jesus Christ, if he did the music, actually I'm about to fact check this, because what? That is outrageous. Babel is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. This is not even something that I knew. This is not something that I knew. Oh my God, it really was by him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, if you have not seen Babel with Brad Pitt, it's a glorious film, but the music is sensational. Same thing with Brokeback Mountain. The music, the guitar work is just haunting the shit. Same thing with the Motorcycle Diaries about Che, I believe.
Che Guevara.
Yeah.
And I think Fidel Castro at one point makes a cameo, or like he's probably with them and whatnot. But yeah,
something like that. I haven't seen that film in so many years, but the music there was great as well. So great composer. My God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm curious about what they're going to do musically with season 2, because season 1 was pretty great in that regard musically. I'm so nervous for season 2, man. That's really my biggest takeaway, is that I'm cautiously optimistic. It's hard for me because like what did you give season 1? I can't remember.
I think I gave it a either 9 or 10 out of 10. Like I really fucking dug it. Like, but then again, that was before Fallout, and then I saw Fallout, and I was like, woof. I'm like, this is up there with The Last of Us, with HBO's The Last of Us. So,
Fallout, I still need to finish. Which is interesting because it's from Jonathan Nolan and somebody. I can't
his
remember
partner / wife, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they were like a duo with Westworld.
Literally the team from Westworld. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I agree, Taco. I also want Gustavo a cameo in Jackson, him playing the banjo like in the game. And I also want to talk to Gustavo Santaolalla on the podcast. That'd be another being like, holy shit.
That would be huge. I would immediately ask him questions about Babel and Brokeback Mountain, like immediately. Those would probably honestly be like my first questions, because I love those films dearly, and musically they are incredible. I'm not playing around. If you have not listened to the soundtrack to Babel, like my God, it is incredible. It is incredible. Score, soundtrack, whatever. It's incredible. Jesus Christ.
What's another thing that I want to see out of season 2? I think.
Let me think. How season 2? Ooh, did we see the farm? Did they show the farm in the trailer?
No, but they did.
They didn't.
No, they didn't show the farm, but either in the trailer or in photos. And you know what? I'll even try to look them up. In photos, we already saw a shot of inside Joel's house.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think they showed like an outside shot of Joel's house, I think. Like
from the outside, yeah. From the very first footage, we did see that, but like there was one with shoot. There was there was a shot of like Craig and Neil directing, I think, and it was with Pedro inside his house, and I think I'm pretty sure it was from his workshop office where he's making the wood stuff.
Yeah, Joel's
like,
house.
I was like, yeah, dude, that's a whole nother. Like, imagine if we spent time in that house. Imagine, dude, like before shit hits the fan. Like,
do you think it's a house that like they found, or do you think it's a house that they built?
I truly don't know, because from season 1, the opening with Ellie's mom Anna, we thought that was the house, because I'm like, yo, that looks just like the house from part 2 and whatnot. So I'm not 100% sure about it. Very intrigued to see. Go ahead.
Well, I was about to say they should have it in budget to like sort of artificially make the house, because you're filming it in very specific angles anyways. So I don't know, kind of makes me wonder if they would be so bold as to make it like quite literally the house from the game by just building it.
Yeah. That'd be kind of poetic and sad, because what happened at the end.
Right. But the farm. So we there's no shots of the farm in the trailer, correct?
As far as I know, no. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Well, then that would be a huge thing. I would want to see the farm. Jesus Christ! Like same thing. Like, did you guys build the buildings? Like, where is the location? Is it a practical location? I almost feel like it would kind of have to be, because I don't know why you would try to choose like a totally different looking terrain. You would try to find a terrain that looks similar. So maybe they went out to like Wyoming or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm curious about like the farm. I would love to know what that looks like.
Yeah, I'm very, and I want to see if they're gonna answer how far is it from Jackson. because remember they wanted to put distance between them and the town after what happened in Seattle. So I'm very intrigued to see if it's being incorporated either now or later down the season, which I'm betting it's probably later down the season, and how much more stuff they're gonna share. Like I think right now, young Mazino showcased that he had been through a lot of trauma and like a lot of stuff that happened to him before he's in Jackson. So I'm like, did he lose his family before Jackson? Because in the game, he has family in Jackson, and you know, at one point the family wants Ellie and Dina back, closest them and whatnot. So I'm very, very interested to see what else there's an enhancement or alternative take for them that they can use to tell this version of this story and this medium or not. But like, look at this shot. Like, look at that, man. Like,
okay.
Oh shit. Like behind them is probably like a row of guitars that he's made for the town and whatnot. Like again, I mean, you guys were asking me about that scene. How much more time I'm gonna spend in Jackson? Like, let me live a little bit with this man as a citizen of Jackson and see how that he is with the community.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because like you know what? This is interesting. I don't know how deep I looked into the making of. I don't think I really looked into the making of into season 1. That's interesting. Anyway, because I was about to say, like, I don't know how they went about Jackson. It seems like Jackson is just a place that they built. Am I wrong about that?
Well, it had been near a dam, and then by that point, in the game, Maria and her family started building it up. But I think in the show, it's in a similar dynamic between Tommy and Maria, and
yeah, for the show, like did they practically make Jackson?
I think maybe a quarter or half of it. I think they probably went to some town and whatnot and shot some stuff, but I wouldn't put it past it because again, that was one of the first things I saw of set photos of season 1. I'm like, wait, that's Jackson. Why the fuck is Jackson in season 1? Like that's season 2 stuff, and it's like, well, we're changing it. Instead of the dam, we're getting Jackson.
Yeah. There's probably some VFX involved, but you know, also, just like in oh yeah, go ahead.
Another fellow Last of Us fans showed up. ¿Qué pasa?
What's up, boys?
Busy coming,
boys.
Busy showing up last minute.
Dog, no, I haven't. I was gonna let you guys watch it for a 10th time with me for the first time.
You haven't seen the trailer?
Nah, I was gonna join you guys, but you guys ended up watching it right before I got home, and I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna join and make them watch it 2 minutes like later. I know you probably would have, but I wasn't gonna do it. So if Sam ends up coming back, we can watch it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So before, okay, so don't look at the comments. How before you've seen it?
Wait, Joel? No, I'm playing. What about
it? How are you feeling before you see the footage? How are you feeling about season 2? Because we're a month away.
I'm gonna watch it either way. I mean, I feel like we've waited so long, so like the hype is still there. But I mean, I feel like compared to the first season, it was one of my most anticipated shows ever. Like season 1, but season 2 is coming around the corner, and I'm not saying like I'm still really excited for it, but I'm not like dying over it because I think like I'm really interested to see how they're gonna break it up into 2 parts. So I think I have more questions than anything, but I know I'm still going to enjoy it either way. I mean, I enjoyed the second game. I mean, it was depressing, but realistically, I think more of the gameplay was more my cup of tea, but the story had me. Oh, fuck. I'm not going to lie. I had trouble playing as a certain character for quite some time, but it was still interesting.
Yeah.
Not the easiest story.
Not at all. No. And then the ending had me pissed off too. We did not go through all that shit just to be like, you know what? Have a good one. Peace out.
I have
at the same time I did like I liked it. It was just I think it's because we played for like 30 hours. I was just like, yeah, this is fucking like kind of annoying.
It's just such a I have so many interpretations of the ending of the game, but like it's I don't know. Last of Us is so hard to talk about because a lot of my favorite stories, they are like emotionally painful. So The Last of Us is like to the nth degree of like emotional damage. So it's hard to speak to people like struggling with that sentiment, because some of my favorite stories are just emotionally painful. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to hit up Sam, see where he's at, or that if he wants to wait so busy go out there, because I want to see what he thinks about this trailer one now.
Gosh.
But yeah, I think for sure we're gonna have Busy back on the podcast when we're covering the show on a weekly basis on the streams. I kind of see if I can find a good balance of people who haven't played a game and people that have played a game, because I think that's cooking up to a fascinating.
That would make
dialogue.
the podcast difficult though, because we're not gonna want to spoil that shit for them.
Yeah.
Oh
If
yeah.
you like this episode, you're gonna hate next episode. Like we can't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't ruin it for them. But it is always cool to hear, a second perspective. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part I always struggle with. It's kind of like the Watchmen thing. It's like I don't know, like with the Watchmen movie, say, like a lot of people who love the movie, they didn't read the book, or they didn't read it first. They usually just didn't even read the book. And then there's like people like me who kind of struggle with the film because I love the book so much. That's definitely, well, especially with season 2, is going to be a thing here with The Last of Us. Jesus Christ. Like, it'll be interesting to see how people respond to that, even if they didn't play the game. That'll be curious. I don't know.
Let me call the homie, see where he's at.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully without folks mind the comments just for a little bit. How's everybody feeling about the trailer and the panel? I think the panel was fun. It was a good way to get the word out the month away from the show. And I liked how well balanced they were about not revealing too much, because I wanted to bet a lot of those audience members had not touched the game at all. And so I'm very intrigued to see how the next few months marketing is going to go about and what they're going to choose to show in clips and whatnot. Because they're going to do that, right? Like, that they're going to start putting out stuff, and it's just like, I could tell you what that means because I know the context of it, but how are they going to showcase this at a whole nother ballpark? But yeah, are you intrigued by the marketing of the next few weeks, Joel?
I am. I am interested to see, like what they're gonna do for a next trailer, or like, I guess, like little TV spots, whatever. That'll be interesting. I guess for me, I kind of have like a busy approach. It's sort of like I'm excited. I'm not like going like just losing brain cells because
we got enough to watch already.
It's such traumatizing material that I'm more so concerned about them getting it right episodically than I am whatever they're doing with the marketing. I almost don't really, I don't know. I'll watch it all, but I'm really just concerned about the story. I'm terrified about them getting the story right. Yeah, I'm sure the marketing will be fun, but this is one of those stories where it's like, listen, let's not play around. Like, I don't care if all the trailers were bad. Like, just these episodes need to be great.
Yeah. Oh man, the talk, the talk about just the runtime is just gonna be something interesting just to see the engagement. I'm just like,
right?
Why the fuck was this only 40 minutes, or why the fuck was it 1 hour and 30 minutes and stuff? And it's just like, oh, it's a lot. It's dense. The second game is that dense. Like how long did it take you to finish the game, Joel? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
God.
And I don't mean in-game hours. Like, we all know it's like a 26 to 30 hour
Yeah,
game,
yeah.
but like time-wise in real world.
I might have to get back to you because unfortunately this was during like COVID days, and like I don't know, my memory is really weird from COVID season. So that's actually a great question, though. I'd have to think about that because, especially after Joel's death, everything became like a blur. Everything became like a blur. Like I almost just gave up on the game. Like I completely like disassociated. So that's a great question. I guess this will have been over a span of just a few weeks, I'm assuming, because I needed to know. But yeah, probably a few weeks. God, it really was traumatizing. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I did. What did I do? I did. Came out on a Friday, I think, or a Thursday. So I'm pretty sure I did 4 days. I had to block it in 4 days because I was sharing it with someone else that I was living with was also playing the game. So we would do rotations. Okay, you do 8 hours, I'll do 8 hours. You do 6 hours, I'll do 6 hours. Going out like
Jesus
for 4 days, and I think I've already told you this, but like one of my blood vessels in my popped, and so like there was
Jesus
a whole like
Christ.
there was a whole day that I was stressed as fuck. There was a whole day like I had to just lay down and put just eye drops just to be like, stay off the internet. Okay, come on. I gotta get through this and like because again it was no man's land. The leaks were out and somehow I avoided them and it's just like brutal, fucking brutal, man. But what about you, Busy? How long in our world time frame? How long did it take you to get through the game? Was it days? Was it hours? Was it?
I think it was like less than a week. I can't remember because I was streaming the first like big portion of it. So it was like when I first started like making content. So I think I have my reaction of the whole, big, of the Tiger Woods scene. But then after that, it was just like I was still I don't think I finished the game on camera though, but I got a majority of it on camera. So I think it took me about a week.
Nice. So what do you think? Should we keep waiting for Sam or
he's not going to be here till 8:15? So if you want to bang it out to your call, I told him I don't mind waiting. So either way, I'm cool.
It's up to you, man. It's your viewing one. We've seen it. We've already given our thoughts. So
all right, yeah, I guess we can knock it out. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't want to pull him away.
All right, let's see. Okay.
Oh shit. Now it's officially real.
Yes.
It's
Let me know if you
very
can hear it. I'm gonna play just a few seconds, okay?
I can hear it.
Yeah? Okay. So, folks, you're gonna get busy.
Oh, yo, do you move my camera up on top of Sam's?
Let me see this.
I can't believe it's gonna be Busy's first watch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was out with my mom getting lunch, so I was like, shit, I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, I'll wait.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Let me know when you're ready.
Let's do it, King. There gotta be a bottle thrown in this game. Oh shit. Oof.
You okay?
They even gave it a little. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is this on them on their way to the museum?
This is where we live.
Ah, fuck you, Jackson!
The fence.
What's inside?
That's so great.
People.
Oh!
What's
This is Bella. She's gonna kill her, girl. Abby. Ah! Nah. Scars, man.
By the time the sun comes up tomorrow,
Oh no, Jesse's gonna be. Oh, that's gonna be great.
there's a very good chance.
Wait, was that was the museum?
You're gonna lose.
This is gonna be gorgeous. Holy shit.
Don't you know what he did?
Oh, that scene's gonna be so great.
sir. Yes,
Holy
sir.
shit.
Yes, sir. You should have seen Ronan's reaction. It was
We got one
outrageous.
of the Big Bertha motherfuckers again, bro, because we barely got them in action last time. Oh wow, that scene with what's her name? In when of course Ellie takes her into the. I know they're not gonna do the spore situation. I wish they had spores in the show because that was one of my favorite things. The fact that she was able to breathe them in.
So
did I miss something? Did they show fucking spores? Did they really? I totally missed it.
There's gonna be the spores are coming.
That's part of the scene. When
Yeah,
she
the spores
are in there and she's breathing that shit in and she's like, you're her. Like that shit is so tough, dude. I totally missed that.
So the spores are coming. This was a big little moment during the panel. Yeah, so the spores are coming, my friend.
No way. That's gonna be so fucking cool. Is that spores coming out of her mouth, or is that the thing that you know how they have like that weird effect?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't even notice.
You remember?
Are
you sure?
Yeah.
Because you
that's
remember
not
that
a
weird.
tendril.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The tendril. Because you remember they had that weird effect when Tess turned, or when Tess was getting, and you saw like the tendril come out of her mouth, the mouth, and all that.
No, that is spores.
That's what that was.
That is
okay.
What? There's spores in the air, but I think Busy might be onto something because there might be something protruding from the mouth. Or wait,
he's saying it's spores, but it looks like tendrils.
Play it through.
I don't think they're tendrils, but I think
right.
Hold on.
Yeah, go back like 10 seconds and play it.
Hold on.
He's like, no, we'll just restart the whole trailer.
Right.
Oh, shoot.
There might be something protruding from the mouth, though. Oh, okay.
And it did look, it was spores. It was spores.
Okay. It was a lot of spores.
Why question Ronan? But some of these shots are so good, bro. It's insane. Like just for a trailer too. Like this right here, bro. Like this is like clipped
the
perfectly.
subway sequence, man.
Bro, I'm so ready for this. But bro, that scene outside of Jackson when they were like, you see the explosions and all that crap. I don't remember that in the game.
No, that's new. That's new.
That's like all those zombies attacking the gate didn't happen. So I'm excited to see how they kind of tie that in. But I will say that shit looked like some Game of Thrones type stuff. The way the effects were, like the way that when Winterfell they were guarding the walls and you just see like the explosions and stuff with the walkers piling up on each other, like the White Walkers. That's what it looks like. Holy crap!
Is this true? Taco. Hold on. Joel's house is on Google Earth. No fucking way, it's not. If it is, I'm gonna go visit and be like, whoever lives here, can I please just hang out here for a bit? I need to put some flowers. No way, at least outside. But yes, trailer hype 100. Hey Mikey, what's up, man?
What's going on, Mike? Yeah. Why isn't Mike in here? Shit.
I don't know if he was about one. I kept saying
he's too cool. Mike's too cool to join
Busy, but what did you think of the trailer?
That shit was fire, bro. Got me a little more amped for the Shadow Return. I mean, I'm still iffy. I'm still excited. But, because it's not like you can wrap up. The games are long, so it's really interesting to see how they wrap up everything in such a short amount of time. Like, even with the first game, I was really impressed that they handled it so well. And I will say, even adding the Left Behind DLC, I think it was, that was an interesting choice. Like, making it an entire episode or putting it in the episode was still, like, and the fact that they made it work, it was so good. It was good. I enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to see how they kind of handle this. And I know we're breaking it up into 2 seasons, which I think is going to be really interesting to see how people are going to be able to handle both sides of the story, if you will. Yeah. So I think it's a really interesting choice. I'm really hoping it's not a simple, hey, money grab, we can get more people if we make 2 seasons, like let's stretch it out. I'm hoping that there's actually a really good attempt here to make this 2 seasons because they want this story to work. I'm hoping it's not a simple no, we can still manage to get this many viewers despite milking the fuck out of it. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they can pull it off. And I don't think I saw there's a specific scar I had in mind that didn't look like they made an appearance.
Lev and or yeah.
So I don't know if what we're doing there.
Yeah, we the Die was here a little beforehand, and we were like,
Oh yeah, I hate that I missed her.
"Is Yaron Lev gonna be in this?" It's like, I don't know.
They're probably gonna hold back until season 3. I would imagine, because they have so much story to cover. It's kind of insane, actually. I just hope it's not like a Game of Thrones season 8 situation, where it's like the main beats are done like in fast forward for some bizarre reason. So hopefully it doesn't feel like the game but fast forwarded. Hopefully. That would suck, because 7 episodes is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
Even if each episode was like 58 minutes, I would still be like, I don't know. Like, can we really cram all this in? Like, I don't know.
What if no credits counted for? But what if each of the 7 episodes was an hour and a half long, solid?
Oof.
Because that technically would be what 3, 4 extra, about 3.5 to 4 extra episodes in current HBO runtime numbers within the 58-minute mark or hour mark.
Well, I mean, I know that one, the one gay episode was like really long, right? Wasn't it like an hour?
The Frank and Bill one.
Yeah, but like stereotypically, how long were the episodes? Did they hover
about
around
an hour?
there?
It was around the hour mark. Yep.
Okay. Maybe, I don't know. It's like, but then again, it's like, why even play that game? Just make it 10, 13 episodes, like a normal fucking, you know what I mean? Like, why even play that game? It's probably for, I don't know. It's not something I would have done. I can tell you that. It would have been a good, clean 10, 13 episodes if it were me. 100%.
Nice.
But
there is one element that I'm very intrigued to see if we're going to see in the show. There is again, as I had said beforehand, that in the remastered version of Part 2, they put in some levels, small amounts of stuff they cut out just for timing. One of them involved Ellie hunting. And it is a brutal, simple, yet bleak sequence that you can play in the remastered version of level. I'm wondering if that story is going to be in the Part 2 storyline with this season and the next probably 2 seasons onwards. And when we saw the Grounded 2 making of documentary of Part 2, they had said that there was a story written about Tommy that takes place after the events of Part 2. And I'm wondering if that, because I think we'll close out this stream pretty soon. And again, I just want to shout out everybody. Thank you so much if you've been staying with us since we started the stream. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the enthusiasm, go out, let people know we are live and we are talking Last of Us. But they said that there was a Tommy story after the Part 2. And I'm wondering if they're going to incorporate it to this interpretation of the show, because recently, Neil Druckmann said, people asked him, what about Last of Us 3? And he flat out said, don't bet on it. That's what he said. Neil Druckmann said, don't bet on it. And now I'm like, wait, what the fuck? You just said that you don't have an idea, but you have a concept, and that there may be at least one more chapter to the story. So, what? You hear that, Jarrell? What are your thoughts of Neil Druckmann saying that? I don't know about Last of Us 3. I don't know about that. Because again, they flat out said we're not doing the Game of Thrones thing. We're gonna adapt what's already have in terms of material, and we're not gonna go ahead.
Will there be a Part 3 video game? That's what you're asking?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? That there may not be one.
It kind of feels like misdirection. Kind of smells like bullshit. No, I'm gonna be. Maybe that's coming out hot, but I'm being honest with you. I especially given like past statements. I just
Look at this.
It seems like.
But you swore, Neil. You swore.
It feels like misdirection. It feels like a red herring. The Last of Us Part 3. It's like too juicy of an idea to be like, we're just gonna shelve it, and hopefully you like the show. Hey, it's time to move on. Like, I don't know if we're ready to move on, and I don't know that he is yet either. I don't know if I buy it. I don't know if I buy it. Time will tell, obviously, but I don't think I buy it. I don't think I believe you, Druckmann. I don't believe you.
What about you, Busy? What do you think of the prospect that Neil said that Last of Us 3? I don't know. Don't bet on it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up for that. I can't. Can't do that. I mean, we got 2 perfectly fine games, and I'm not gonna, because I feel like we're gonna watch some type of event, expecting some crazy announcement, and it's gonna be like the 4th remaster for the first game. Like I'm not doing this shit again. So I'm just gonna sit here and just, if it happens, so hell yeah. But if not, then I'm not getting burned again. So,
bro, it's so happening, bro. No way.
I mean, I don't know if it's needed. Like I don't want them. Like I don't want to get to the point where people were already so unhappy with the second game. I don't want to drop the 3rd one, and then people are just not happy with it. Like people are just gonna crap on it.
I mean,
I just don't want a Godfather Part 3 scenario. I don't want them to wait 2 decades and then be like, we got the 3rd one. It's just like,
I don't even think we need it. I'd love one. Don't get me wrong, but like, there's literally like,
we need it, man.
I'm not gonna listen to like just a bunch of people crapping on something because they don't like something.
Sure. But I guess like the fear of controversy aside, I personally feel like I kind of feel like I need some kind of at least further closure. Jesus Christ. I mean, I mean, I guess this could, our last moments, that could just be the end of the universe. But Jesus goddamn Christ, that's a harsh fuck. And that's not to say that Part 3 would be like, the ending of The Mummy, where we like literally ride off into the sunset. But god damn, it would be nice to have a little bit further closure, at least for me personally, to the universe, not even just Ellie's story, just to the universe.
I echo. At least for this angle of the universe, I think there's so much, and I don't want them to spin off so many shows and whatnot. But like, at least in my sense, is that like, if you want to continue this world, first have a bookend for Ellie and Joel's story, and then if you want, what I would do is like, then you start putting out novels, paperback novels of like The Last of Us. Again, what I've been saying, Tokyo Under Siege, or like what happened in Tokyo with the outbreak, or Dia de los Muertos outbreak day of what happened in Mexico when outbreak day happened and whatnot. Like once you settle the stuff with Joe and Ellie, if you want to expand upon the world and again, you don't have to do games or shows or movies. I think people still underestimate what novels and what comic books can do nowadays with expanding a world. And I've been saying for the longest, like, if you're not going to give me another game, please give me something in a comic or in a novel. Like, I will go out of my way to buy the hardcover and the paperback versions as many times as you need me to do it, just so that like Joel was saying, closure for me. Because I don't think I have full closure by the time I finish Part 2. I was like, okay, I still have a lot to deal with, and we have to like finish this conversation, but it's not a closure for me, at least.
I will say, to Busy's point, though, I mean, it is difficult to sort of imagine how much more to Ellie's story there really could be. Like, this bitch is just missing fingers and everything. Man, oh man. Like I have floated out the concept of almost like a, I don't know, like an Old Man Logan-ish style story with Ellie. I think that could be exciting, if we fast forward and Ellie is like oh man, this kind of just gave me goosebumps. But if we could sort of fast forward and Ellie is Joel's age when he died. I'm just saying. I think there's a lot there. Just saying.
And maybe she finds someone else who's immune, and it's put in the same scenario of Joel's shoes of like, are you gonna let this kid live, or are you gonna take him somewhere where they can be the messiah for the world and whatnot? And like, to me, at one point, I want that, but I just want Ellie to be like, I understand now. I understand Joel. Like, and like, even if someone from her past like calls her out, like you have nobody, you know, you had no mother, you had no father, and I just at one point, again, this is me being a nerd, but I want to be her. I wanted to pull a Spider-Man moment and be like, I had a father. His name was Joel Miller. We just blow someone's heads off one eye. Like, I want that. And be like, fuck yeah, you did. I was there. I was at the, you know, and like, yeah, man, I'm already picturing, you know, Ashley Johnson back in the saddle one more time, and you hear in the background, I hurt myself the other day. Play that Johnny Cash song. Yeah, and just like, yeah, man.
Like what's going on with the kid? What's going on with Dina? Like, do we get some kind of semblance of like, is the world just permanently fucked, or is there like a ray of hope for like a cure? I don't know.
And I think for people who like part 3, Last of Part 3, I want that, but I also am aware that right now Naughty Dog's focus is Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. I know that right now that's their focus, and I don't blame him for wanting to take a little break from the Outbreak world. Like, again, we saw the documentary. We know what a toll that was, that experience, and how they've been.
Well. Saddle up, boys. Saddle up, boys. We're going back. We're going back to the fucking apocalypse. Don't give me this intergalactic bullshit. All right, we're going back to the fucking apocalypse. Okay, get the spores ready. Shit, ridiculous.
And I want us. This is just me being a guy who's very, I guess, poetic and like melancholy or whatever. Like, I want us to be, all 4 of us and some other friends, like Die as well. I want us to be like at a PlayStation experience or like a video game conference, and then someone from Sony says, "There's one more thing," and then they just turn off the lights. They play some footage, and you see this old lady with a guitar walking about, and you see a revolver being pulled out, and it just cuts to Last of Us Part 3, and you hear a little string of Gustavo's guitar, and just like, that's it, it's happening. And then I have to be like, oh my god, we're doing it.
I think, you know, if season 2 hits like I think it probably will, like huge ratings, big critic ratings, big viewership, blah blah blah. I feel like around episode 7, I think we're gonna hear a little something from Druckmann. That'd be my conspiracy theory. Just a hunch.
On the record, we have it here that like that might, if it might happen, Terrell called it.
I think it kind of has to happen. You know, it's kind of like with the Christopher Nolan and James Bond. Will that ever happen? I mean, it's at least a maybe. It's a maybe. The odds are not great, but it's a maybe.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap things up. We've been going for almost 3 fucking hours. But I've had a blast. Even though half of it, my brain was scrambling and I was like in pure denial, like, hey man, I need medicine, man. But folks, endure and survive, y'all. Like, this has been just a blast. Like, the fact that at least one person bothered checking this out is just, that's ridiculous to me. Like, I still can't believe that people were intrigued to see our thoughts and hear our thoughts on The Last of Us and whatnot.
Of course.
Jarrell, hermano, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to geek out about Last of Us once again. Plug yourself, man. Tell what you're cooking up, what you're working on, and where people can find you.
It's like I always say, it's on the screen. As you see it there, Drell's Alexandria. That's my main hub or YouTube channel. Do like reviews, a little bit of reactions. Mostly is movie related stuff, TV show related stuff. I got some big projects on the way, so you can find me there.
Beautiful. Hermano.
You can find me at Busy Braun, and then of course over here doing reactions, then on Team JVS doing reviews.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Folks, what's gonna happen in April? Sounds like looks like a slow.
No, I don't think we're doing anything. Yeah,
Nothing.
it's gonna be lame, bro.
These next 8 to 9 weeks are gonna be atomic, y'all. Nuclear. You're gonna want to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to their channels because they got gold cooking up in the pipelines. But subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the enthusiasm. Make sure the folks at Naughty Dog and HBO see this stuff. Make sure that other fellow Last of Us content creators see this stuff and share that there is a beacon. There's a light, a watchtower throwing up a signal of like, light it up. It's just like we are Last of Us fans. We want to hang out. We want to talk to y'all. Yeah, man. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I can't.
But yeah.
I can't believe we've been going for 3 hours. It's crazy.
But I love it. Like this is I wish we got paid to do this. Folks, thank you so much for taking the time. As always, to the edge of the universe and back. Endure and survive. Adios, everybody. Fuck that up.